Okay, let's go.
Let us talk about the giveaway.
So I think what we'll give away is a private sound session and also a month membership. We can do the intro offer, so you have 30 days of unlimited access to all the classes.
Definitely deserves to be looked at. Here we go. It's the first one called Watercolor Illustration. I came across this on Facebook. Check this out. I need a jingle. I want some kind of a 10-second jingle. So if you're bored,
2 trailer park girls go around the outside.
The other thing that I want all my guests to do is bring something for my next guest.
Yeah, so I have several. I have several items.
Ooh, thank you.
I can get behind this.
Yeah, and there's other meditation pillows.
All right, this is it, you guys. I'm going to shut down and try to get my mind in a space where this I can receive it. So, welcome everyone to episode number 2. I have an awesome guest for us today. I'm excited about that, but I just want to throw up front here what we're going to be talking about today. We have a giveaway from Monroe Yoga, so stick around for the instructions for that. It's going to be a good giveaway from Monroe Yoga. We are going to talk a little bit about Monroe. I want to highlight a couple creative people that I've been looking on Facebook here, so I just want to highlight them. We are going to do, I got a couple copycat segments that I want to do that I stole from other podcasters. We're going to do some fun stuff today. We got a little adventure for Delinda. She has no clue what that is going to be, and frankly, I don't either. So we'll see about that. So the other thing, one of the big things we're going to talk about today too is sound therapy. Delinda does sound baths and sound therapy. I don't know anything about this. I didn't research too much of it because I wanted to hear from Delinda. So the reason for this podcast, for one, if you didn't see episode 1, I really wasn't clear about it there, and it's still defining itself, to be honest. But a big reason for this podcast is basically going to be my experience going through my mental health that I'm recently addressing finally. And my self kind of discovery journey, because you'll hear more about my story as we go, and I think I might just say it all at once one time. But I suffer from mental health problems that I'm just being diagnosed with late, and so I'm on a mission to discover who I am because of all, just the pain and the history that I've been through. Trying to handle what I was going through with no direction and no understanding. And so here I am at 49, working this out. And this is why we're here. And this is why I'm going to do this podcast, because the main thing is I know that me talking about it and me being transparent and vulnerable, it's been working. It's been working. I did it because I was tired and basically rock bottom when you're like, okay, I'm down, let's do whatever it takes. So I started digging in to this self-discovery and mental health, and trying to work on my physical health with vitamins and all that good stuff. And so I'm trying to attack every angle: physical, mental, spiritual. When I say bottom, rock bottom, that you'll do anything once you get there. So here I am with some maturity now, with some, okay, I had a good time, a good run, let's get going, let's do something. So that's what this podcast is about. And this today is I want to try to see if I can calm the class of kindergartners I got running around in my head. With 30 tabs open. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. But for me, I'm an overthinker. I'm a perfectionist. I'm an empath. And when you add my diagnosis in there with that, it's just a freaking mess. A healthy, fun mess that I'm going to figure out one way or another. And I've seen evidence of it working. So here I am walking that out. And today we're going to talk about sound therapy and if it can calm my head, because I have to be honest, the skepticism is in me. But here's what I do know: I'm not going to go into it with a skeptical mind. I'm gonna straight open, because, like I said, I'm open to anything. Let's run this. Let's do this to give me some peace of mind. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to discuss sound therapy so you guys can hear what it's about. And I'm sure the giveaway is going to be related to that. So stick around so you can experience that yourself. Because I did see there's true science behind this. And I don't know anything, but I know that we're made up of water, a lot of it. And I know vibrations and sounds make us move on every level across the world. So I'm sure that water inside, you can feel those vibrations. So stick around for that giveaway, and we're going to discuss it. And actually, we're going to break away, and I'm going to go do it, show you a little bit about it, and share my experience afterward. And like I said, there's skepticism because I don't know any, I can't calm my head, which is a superpower at times, but you pay for a superpower. You got to pay for that, and I do dearly. It's fun. It's fun up there. So we're gonna see what it does, and it's gonna be in this episode as well. So I'm glad you're here, and this is Delinda from Monroe Yoga.
Hello.
I'm so excited you're here. I'm
I
so
am
excited it's
so
episode
excited.
2. We did a lot leading up to this. We actually seen each other a couple times, and we weren't allowed to really talk because we wanted it to be fresh for this. So it was hard. We had to make it was like a formal. And anytime we started talking about life, we had to stop. We're like, okay, wait. So
It's easy to go right into it, right?
yes, it's here. It's
Yeah.
here. We're here. So I really just start by telling a little bit about you, and then let's get right into sound therapy.
Yeah, let's
So
do it.
Tell a little bit about you, and then
First, I want to say I'm so proud of you, Ken. I hope you're proud of yourself. Like
I'm working on that.
Yeah. So, I mean, digging into mental health and wanting to be better and feel better and be your best. But that's one thing. But also to open yourself up and put yourself out there. That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot. And it's not easy to do. And I am grateful that I am here with you, but I am just so proud of you that you're doing this.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love to hear that. I'm still working on taking that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was told to just say thank you and move on.
Yeah.
But first of all, we've met
Yes.
a while ago because you had come to Monroe, and you needed a website. You needed some
did.
things, and we met at Public House.
No, we met at Panera, the old Panera, for the first
Oh
time.
yes, we did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's right. That's right. But then we did end up going to
Public House.
for
We did
again.
too. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, that's right. So that was the old Panera, which I miss.
Yeah.
I miss the comfort there.
Yeah. We did. Yeah, and you built my website and photo shoots.
The photo
Yeah,
shoot.
you
That
did.
was
That
fun.
was so fun. Yeah.
And like I was telling you, it might not, like, people seen the video too, and they really got a good response. And you would have never known how happy and giddy I was on that video. I was telling you that was my word. That was my rock bottom.
Yes.
And that was crazy. I had to perform that day. But anyway, go on.
You did. You performed well, but isn't that what
exhausting.
we do?
It's exhausting.
So exhausting. So, yes, I'm Delinda. I own Monroe Yoga. My background is chemical sales. Go figure.
That's related.
Yeah, yeah. I retired from my corporate career after 27 years. And then COVID happened and menopause happened and moving and finding my people and finding, okay, what's next? Like, and
Right.
that's how Monroe Yoga came about. God, the universe, was not allowing me not to do it. So it was really interesting. There's a lot of steps that led up to it. Even though I was trying to fight and resist, I'm like, I don't know anybody in Monroe. I'm not from here. Who's going to come and support my business? The imposter,
Oh, yeah.
syndrome, like, am I good enough? Or what if they don't like me? Then I'm going to feel ick. And, you just go through all of that.
So how was
But,
your response then?
the response has been great.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people that are meant to be there are there,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a place of healing. And if you're not ready for that, you might walk in and say, I'm not quite ready for this. But the biggest thing is community and watching people make all these connections and friendships. I love it. I just love, we have an epidemic of loneliness too. We have an epidemic of people being behind the phones, being at home.
Individual.
Yeah, individual. We're less social, but we're not made to be alone. We're made to be in community and to have connection and to have a hug. I
And
mean,
that's what's funny you say that because I'm in the middle of working on that. Because my biggest thing, and I was told so many times that I have to get around some people. I live on an island. I always have. I've always counted on myself, wanted to be by myself. I like going to the movies by myself, shopping by myself, eating by myself. I love it. I love that. But just like anything else, it can become unhealthy. But it was so bad to the fact, like every conversation in the last 48 years of my life, I've always tried to find an exit plan out of that conversation. Because I don't know why. I'm still learning because. But what I've noticed since my transformation at 47 is when I could say I started changing a little bit. I didn't mean to work on that. It came as I was working on other things, and I didn't notice it happening. But I started to want to go to lunch with somebody. I noticed myself asking more in-depth questions and staying in the conversation. And since that, I think it's a product of where I am today to be able to do what I'm doing, because it's blowing my mind that I was just telling Lee last night how it came out of nowhere where it's sad to say that I want to have a conversation with somebody, that I have some compassion that's growing from somewhere that I'm not working on that either. And that's the beauty, I think, of starting to work on yourself is you work on things in front of you, however you decide to work on them, but it unlocks other things that are happening. So I seen the evidence. So guess what I'm doing? I'm one that you give me evidence of something, I'm running because I like improving myself. I do. I always liked learning stuff, but yeah, I just think that it's so cool that I'm learning, and it's changing me. It's changing me on the inside. I'm finding more compassion. It's weird. It's all weird to me.
I know people think, I mean, there are introverts, obviously, and people will say they don't care to be around other people. But is that really true? I mean, I question that. I don't know,
Well,
but
I can tell you, you can make your mind believe it is.
yeah, but just like you said, that I mean, that becomes unhealthy too if you
Yeah, and you
become a
don't know
recluse.
why.
And well, also avoiding conflict, right? So when you have relationships, your feelings can get hurt. Like you can be disappointed. And
All your baggage starts to come through.
well, it does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's not
like
always their
your
stuff.
reflection, things that you, yeah, struggle with. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just interesting though that watching people come in and be at a low spot and then just start feeling loved and feeling safe and moving their body and finding that mind body connection and watching them grow. It's my purpose.
It's obvious because I noticed that the first day I met you. Like, you have this vibe about you that you makes me want to talk to you. Like, and I think that's always been the connection is how easy it is to talk to you. You know, so it must be easy for you to do. Like, it's who you are, and it's probably very fruitful. It's got to be.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it's sometimes, I have to take care of myself though too because I am an empath as well. I am very intuitive. And I will take on a lot of energy. I do Reiki as well while I do sound therapy, which we'll get into that.
Yeah.
However, I am learning to continuously protect myself because I am a save the world kind of girl. I mean, and sometimes people also mistake that I can be walked on too. Do
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
they find you.
Yeah, they do. They do. And so when you stand your ground, it's really it's just a fascinating place to be. At the end of the day though, it's also a business, right? I have to pay the bills.
Yep.
So
The ugly part.
yeah, the ugly part. So that's the most challenging. Yeah, the
I can
most
I can
challenging.
agree with that
Yeah.
because being an artist and you are I have to say as well, it's an art. You know, that's an artist's mind, and you just so you know, I'm going to lose my train of thought quite a bit.
I'll get you
Just so
back
you
on
know.
track.
Yeah. What was we just
An artist. You were talking about being an artist,
it,
and we were talking about it's a business.
yes. Okay. So yeah, being an artist, the business part of it is very unattractive. The cool thing is I do have that analytical part. The ASD one helps me, which is so contradicting to the ADHD, but it it honestly helps me be a neat ADHD person. But just because I can organize things doesn't mean it is the most unsexiest thing I've ever dealt with. And ever since I did like thought I wanted to be a business, I started with Wild Vault and now kind of Lens Ninja. I don't like being a business. Like I won't even sponsor a golf hole, like hole 9 with my logo. Like it just so corporate-y. So it's hard to deal with that part of it, especially when somebody treats you like a service person. Yeah, I think in my head, I'm like, so now I bring it to the table. Said, so you're hiring an artist. I have to almost put that on the table because I make less money because of it. And I'm fine with that because I was just talking about the unsexiness of business.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the same even at this yoga studio. I could run all kinds of deals or try to get people locked into contracts, but that's not what we're about.
Right.
I don't want to be over salesy. I don't, if it doesn't feel right for you, it's not the time to be there.
Right.
And it does change the energy if, someone feels stuck, that's why we don't do long-term commitments. It's like a 30-day notice. That's all we ask for. And
Right.
you're done. And if something comes up and something happens, just talk to me.
Right.
It,
Flexible, like being
oh,
flexible like that
yes,
too.
yes, it's not worth it. It's not worth.
Like I don't have all these policies and strict
Yeah,
rules. Like
yeah.
you
Like
gotta have some,
we
of
don't
course.
we
But
don't hide anything. Like that's not yogic. Number one. Number two, it's just not who I am. So
right, right.
yeah, yeah,
That's so cool.
yeah. It's really.
So, all right. So, what about your family? How many?
I have 4 kids. I have my oldest who helps me run the studio. She's married. I have
Brittany, I
two,
met her.
yeah, Brittany. I have 2 granddaughters, and a son-in-law who I love dearly.
That's awesome.
My stepdaughter is in Seattle. She's an attorney in Seattle. She's amazing. I love her. We're very close.
That's awesome.
And Tom and I have together a 17-year-old and a 12-year-old.
Oh, got some youngins.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
gonna
we
be
have
fun.
so we have like 37 to 12.
Keeping you young.
I
Wow,
know.
keeping you
Yeah,
young.
I don't know, maybe.
Partially, right?
Partially, yeah.
That's cool.
But it's yeah, we have a great family.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
we have issues like everybody, so don't this isn't Facebook family, right?
No, this is
I mean,
this
let's be
show.
real,
Yeah,
like it has its struggles, let me
behind
tell
the
you.
Facebook. This is behind. Maybe that's what I should call this.
Oh, yeah.
Behind. No, that's terrible.
Yeah.
But that's what this is. And again, one thing too. The show still doesn't have a name.
Oh, yeah.
It's the No Name Show episode 2 right now.
You should take suggestions.
Please, if you have any suggestions, run
Yeah.
it. Be super creative. I have a list of about 200 names already, and
Oh, do you?
That's why I'm not gonna be. It took me 5 years to call myself Wild Vault.
Ah.
Like whenever I work on something on myself, my website isn't finished. Like anything of mine is like shows, the lack of. I just don't do it. But so I need it. If you have any suggestions, run it, and also check this out. I need a jingle. I want some kind of a 10-second jingle. So if you're bored,
2 trailer park girls go around the outside.
sample that, please, if you can sample that. But make me a jingle, 10 seconds, and I'll put them on the air. We'll test them out. We'll listen to them and have everybody vote on them. So if you're bored, make me a stupid jingle for a no-name show. Thanks. But so we're here because of the sound therapy. Tell me in the audience, We have an
What
audience.
is it?
We might.
We might,
Like
yeah,
7 people.
maybe two.
7 are on, 2 are watching 1 minute of it.
Yeah, they're watching like, oh,
I
no,
get it.
no,
I get
thank you.
it. So yeah, just explain sound therapy.
So you were talking about a little bit earlier, our body being made up of water. We're made up of frequency and vibration. I mean, that's science. Like there's no disputing that is what it is. Sound therapy is also it's a deeply relaxing experience, and you use singing bowls, crystal bowls. You use gongs, chimes. I have swinging chimes. I have all of the things, and tuning forks. I love tuning forks too. They're truly amazing to help calm the nervous system. I mean, it's really pretty simple. It balances the mind and the body because what happens when we are in a constant beta state, so like a beta state, what is that frequency? Let me look. Like it's 13 to 30 hertz. So when you're in a beta state, that's when you're thinking, what's next? You're working, you're all up in the head. But when you get to the alpha and the theta state, so like before you get ready to fall asleep, or what is the other one? Fall asleep, or meditation. Meditation brings you into those states. Breath work would bring you into those states. So when you are in beta state, you have a disconnect sometimes between the mind and the body if you stay there for long terms,
Okay.
right? So if the mind and body aren't connected, if you're all up in the head constantly
Which is
and
me.
stressed, your body will pay the price. So I don't know if you ever heard of that book, The Body Keeps Score. It's scientific.
I haven't
It's
heard of it, but I love the name.
you
I get it.
really, really, yeah, I recommend everybody to read it, but keeping the mind and body connection and then calming the nervous system. So basically, when you come there, the one thing I tell everybody is to let go of any expectation.
Yeah.
It's really up to you to relax and to receive. And everybody's experience is different. You might come and feel nothing the first time. I mean, that's possible especially if you're in your head and you're resisting.
I can see that.
Yeah.
It might take a
So
couple times for
it,
somebody that's a busy mind.
and if they're willing to do it again, because there is a lot of skepticism. But if you have skepticism and you're not open to receiving those frequencies, that's on you.
Right.
And that I did have to get past that. I mean, I've come a long
You
way.
yourself?
Yes, because I had to get past people judging me for doing it.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Like I wanted them to feel the power of what this can do, but it's really on them, not me. I'm providing. It's
Right.
up to you to
And you set
receive.
everybody up for that.
I do.
Like
Yeah.
before you
Oh,
start
yeah.
a class, like
We do breath work. So when I do private sessions, like where I'm going to do with you
I'm looking
and
forward
Lee,
to it.
yeah, it's a little more personalized. But when I have a group, I do limit my groups now to 15. Like in the beginning,
Yeah.
I had like 25. I think I had 30 at one time, and it's too much.
it makes it longer, I bet, because you got a lot of territory, a lot
Well,
of real estate to walk.
you do, and energetically, it's draining for days. Like I couldn't get out of
Gotta
bed.
be.
Yeah. So and then don't let it discourage you.
Yeah, this is all part of it. Like me walking into all these difficulties. I get it. I get it. Here's the dealio. So we got all kinds of obstacles. This is episode number 2, basically number 1. Episode number 2, and we have obstacles. I walked into nothing but audio and technical problems that I got figured out. It's ungodly hot, and when I walked in here, it was 90 degrees. So got a couple air conditioners, got them going, and got it down to 75. So we're going to be dealing with heat today. We're going to deal with first time technical bullshit, and we're going to deal with some kids next door. It is Tuesday morning. God bless them.
Yeah.
They're having a great time during the summer. It's like an event. We just had a conflict of dates.
Yep.
So we're going to push through this. You're probably going to hear fan noise, air condition noise, and kids and bumping, and we're going to be bumping.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. Right,
Yeah.
right.
Woo!
So
That's
stick
our field
with
trip.
us.
We're dancing next door.
Yes.
Carly showing up. Woo!
Yes. Let's get Carly over here.
I know.
We could easily
Oh my gosh,
have
we'd
fun.
have fun.
Absolutely.
That would be a blast.
So, I guess I want to hear about this retreat, this Mexico. What's up?
Yeah.
I suppose I should put
so
on music.
I was just gonna tell you, put your headset on. Yeah, so it's Tierra Tulum. Really getting back to who you really are and connecting, really connecting to me, the Tulum is the land is so powerful. I can't explain it and how I felt when I was there. But connecting to the roots, the history. The community is so loving. And yeah, so we're going to be there January
Welcome, welcome
January
to our world.
14th through the 19th for 5 nights. All the meals are included. We have daily yoga, daily meditation. We have local healers coming in. They'll come in and do sound and do a cacao ceremony. So,
What was what's the deal with like how did you pick Tulum? What
so that, it just came up for me. Like really, like intuitively, I just feel things.
you been there?
And no,
No.
never been there. And I had that in my book, my journal that I would like to do a retreat in Tulum one day once I start doing retreats.
Mm.
And so I narrowed it down to 3 places, and then I needed to travel there, right?
To
Because
check
I
it
can't
out.
take people to Mexico and not know what's safe, where we're going,
Did you
all of
fly
that.
into Tulum?
I did, yeah. You fly into Tulum. The Tulum airport is new. It's
No
beautiful.
kidding.
Yeah, you get actually when you get out there, there's like a Starbucks waiting for you, and I was a little surprised by that. It was kind of interesting, but it's a
Right.
beautiful airport, small, easy. And then, so then I went and stayed at Casa Violeta, and I fell in love with the property. I mean, I had a Zoom call with the owner. It's family owned, and she is from Mexico. Her name is Carla, and I just felt this connection. And then going to their property, they're really big in ecosystem and keeping it as natural as possible. It's little bungalows. The chef is from Italy. He owns a restaurant in Italy. And I got to
Okay.
meet with him because he's there for that season and then goes to Italy for the summer season. And so we got to meet with him, and it was amazing. Just talking about the food and the food, I can't even begin to tell you. I had no bloat. I didn't feel bad. I came home feeling so refreshed. You get fresh juice every morning. They make their own homemade
I can
marmalade.
attest to it.
Yeah, homemade marmalade every morning with homemade croissants. Like, who doesn't want that?
I'm telling you, like even the most basic level, the food there is like well, if you think about it, everything's organic.
Yes.
And what I found out was, of course, in the United States we have about 10,000 ingredients that are okay to be in food, and I looked it up, and Mexico has 500. 500 versus 10,000. But so when I went there, that's one thing that stood out like no other. Maybe it didn't have all the fancy colors, but man, even at the most basic level, the food blew ours away.
Oh, yeah, it did. It was,
I had an experience in Mexico.
oh, tell me. That's right,
Gosh,
because you and Lee went.
yes.
Oh, tell me.
Well, it's gonna be. It was a roller coaster, but I went into it thinking that I was going to be able to experience the culture a bit and stay off the beaten path. We didn't do any of the resorts.
So why would you think that you would be okay doing that in Mexico?
Well, I had just a wrong idea, I suppose. I thought I did enough research, and the idea in my head did not match whatsoever. I was thinking about, I was going to bring money, and purchase things through the community to basically buy my camera, taking photos and stuff like that. And that was the thing. So we stayed at a place that had no sign. Our hotel didn't have a sign, didn't really have a driveway. It was pretty much broken concrete. We're driving into it thinking, what are we doing here? On the way to it, probably like 3 to 5 checkpoints, intimidating checkpoints. No, no, they didn't really say anything, so you don't know what to say. There's no street signs, and there's no, like, I had to drive a stick shift. So that brought back memories, and it was a challenge already in a place where I didn't know what I was doing. So when you add ADHD to that and a little bit of sprinkle a little autism and bipolar, whatever, sprinkle that on there, and I didn't know how to react. Thank God Lee was there to to keep me corralled, and the 30 kindergartners in my head, keep them corralled and be able to focus. But it was just an experience. Like, probably shouldn't have done it like that. But we had some awesome, there were some really good times, great times, with, just being with her and having the food. Like I said, no matter what we did, the food was awesome. But it's Mexico, you know, and I would definitely recommend it to friends, but definitely not the way I did it, because I couldn't even bring my camera out. It came to that, to where it was obvious and I was told not to. so I didn't get to take any pictures or anything, which was good. I got to be in the moment. I took a few,
Yeah.
but we did the ruins. Like
So you couldn't bring your camera out because somebody would steal it?
yeah, just
Yeah.
the safety
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah.
So it made it was just kind of bumming, but we went and seen the ruins, and I got to tell you, the Koba ruins were my favorite, just because it was like in the forest, and they just kind of carved it out. So you're in basically a canopy, and they take you on a little bike, and we just sat in the front, and they kind of point things out, and that was the I thought was the coolest ruins because we did the Tulum, and then the other one, the big one.
Cancun? Playa
No,
del
we flew into
Carmen?
Cancun.
Playa del
What's
Carmen?
the this eighth wonder of the world?
Oh, oh yeah, I saw
I'm
that.
drawing a
I know what you're
complete
talking. Me
blank.
too. I
That's
bet.
crazy.
Yeah, but that's on my list to share with the people. I can't think of it.
I guess I don't need to.
Yeah, no.
But anyway, that was cool to see in person too. But man, oh man, the vendors like ruins the experience. Like not only just walking by, but they'll come out to you, and you're trying to be like, look at, oh my goodness, that is so like, and they're like, hey, you want to buy? I'm like, no, no, no. It was constant,
Yeah.
and they let them go all the way up into the ruins and like in the back and stuff. So like I can understand you keeping them up front, and there's a line you have to walk through, but to spread it out through the ruins and
So you couldn't escape it.
yeah. But anyway, it was still worth it by any means.
Yeah.
It was worth it. Uh, our Tulum experience wasn't the greatest. It was just really,
You mean in the city in the Tulum in
yeah,
Tulum?
because we just went and it was busy.
Oh yeah.
And the first place we parked a car and couldn't find it. It was mostly just me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
My interpretation is not going to be the norm, or
Right.
because it's just going to be off. And
Yeah, we're not close to downtown, so we're on a little strip right along the ocean, so
yeah,
you can walk everywhere and do everything. It's
no kidding. It
yeah,
was beautiful.
it
It
is
was
beautiful.
everything about Mexico was. I just wished they would. It's funny, you get so spoiled by our regulations and our red tape here of safety. You really notice it down there because they're just like, well, it's just willy nilly. There's, one of the things I thought was cool too is like the highways, the main highways. There's not a ton of roads out there in that Yucatan area, so it's funny for entertainment. I guess I'm guessing the people that live off the freeway there come up to the road and build these platforms and if you look by and you see them, and I didn't see anybody in them, but then we kept going. Of course, we started seeing people in them. It's like they have a couch in there, and it's just like a wooden box with an open front, and they climb up it and just must watch the freeway for entertainment. I'm guessing it has to be.
That's so interesting. We were told by the property manager at Casa Violeta in Tulum, or was it him? Somebody told us. Maybe it was our taxi driver. But anyway, in Tulum, it was our taxi driver. You don't go to take a class and have to pass to get a license. So that's why people drive. We were talking about the driving,
Yeah,
and you don't go like we have to. Uh,
get like regulated and
yeah, no.
wow, you just drive.
In that area. It's not everywhere in Mexico, but in that area.
Like,
Yeah.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
Because the driving, they stay inches from you.
Oh my gosh, it's
It's like
crazy.
what you see on a movie.
Yeah.
Like it's so intense, and then I'm in a stick. It was just like
That's
no other,
interesting. Yeah.
like no
I
other.
used to travel to Mexico when I worked in corporate, and we would go in through Laredo and then have to drive from Laredo to Monterrey. And then we would get stopped and they would search us, and young people with, assault rifles. Like, I mean,
Yes, yeah.
it's
It's
so
just
it's
intimidating.
very scary. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't wander around, but in Tulum I felt extremely safe.
Yeah, around those areas, like even at our
Just
hotel.
don't be dumb, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Yeah, just
Those
don't be dumb.
areas are beautiful. Even in our hotels that we had stayed at were awesome. We were treated like kings and of amazing food, of course. But halfway through the trip, watching TV, I see the time. Lee's sleeping. It's midnight. Getting close to midnight, and for some reason, I just happened to look and see what time it was on my phone, and the lights cut out. And I'm going to be honest, I was sitting there waiting for footsteps and a lot of yelling, like I was going to be taken or something. So I'm just sitting there crapping my pants a little bit and nothing, So I fall asleep eventually. We wake up and learn that there's not going to be any power anytime soon whatsoever. So when they lose power in Mexico, you lose cell phone towers power. So we had no cell phone. We had no nothing. It was extremely hot, so we had to go to another hotel, and that was an adventure in itself too. But every hotel we did go to, ended up being this somebody's little home, which basically was like a shack, had burnt the only two wires coming from Tulum because Koba we stayed in Koba. Koba gets their energy from Tulum. So if it gets cut, that's it. That's over with. So
That's interesting.
that was fun.
Interesting.
So I ask everybody to bring me a question.
Yeah.
So, and I never know what this is, and that's the way I like it. But I'd probably be caught off guard. I don't know. So what
So
is it?
I had a riddle for you.
A riddle. Okay.
Yeah, it's what comes once in a minute.
We'll put this closer.
What comes once in a minute, twice in a moment, but never in 1,000 years.
One more time.
What comes once in a minute, twice in a moment, but never in 1,000 years.
Could you please say this in a sentence for me?
No,
Is this Latin derived?
it's English.
I don't think I'm ever going to be able to guess this. I really don't.
The letter M.
The letter
Once in minute,
minute,
twice in moment, and never in 1,000 years.
I would have never got that.
Yeah.
I'm not good at puzzle, especially verbal ones. I feel like I'll
So
never be good at those.
yeah,
That's good though. That's good.
yeah. So what's a food combination you secretly love that would horrify most people? So what's a food combination that you secretly love that would horrify most people?
I would say so. I have this thing. I call it a love boat. I even named it, of course, just like I name everything.
A love
Love boat,
boat.
because it looks like a little love boat, and I love them, so it's like perfect. It's like, look at my little love boat. It's a big Frito, the dipping Fritos. They're really thick and like, so they don't break when you
Crunchy.
scoop it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then I throw a little bean dip on it, processed bean dip, and then one green olive, and it is a beautiful combo.
And I can see you just doing that. So do you dip it and then do it every time before you take a bite, or do you make a bunch of them?
That's the process when the bunch of them are gone. So
Oh,
yeah,
so you
I
eat.
pre-make them.
Oh, okay.
I even put them on this special little plate, like you would deviled eggs. And I think I even took a picture of them before, like on Facebook. I think I pulled it up. Look at my love boat.
That's
That's
so
what it reminded
funny.
me of. It was beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. I haven't had it in a minute now. I'm hungry. So I'm gonna have to go home and make some of those.
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
good question. Good riddle too. I stink at riddles.
That's all
And you know
right.
what else I have a problem with?
What?
This could be, I don't know what it is, but I don't have much of a laugh. Like, and like jokes, I feel uncomfortable when people tell me a joke. Like, I don't know how to laugh.
I get it.
Do you?
I
Because
kind of see what you're talking. Yeah, I could see
I
that.
don't like. I think part of it is because I overthink. So I said like, is there something behind it? And I'm trying to, like, but
Let's see. Are they trying to send me a hidden message?
yeah, what are they trying to say? Because I just do not, and then I feel obligated to laugh, and I don't have one.
Yeah.
So I have
So
to
how do
do
you
these
laugh?
noises. I'll cover my mouth and just make the motions like
So
it's really my kids always thought this was strange about me too. Is I just like I got a joke for you, Dad, and it was hard for me to act out the enthusiasm because
ah,
they tell me the punchline and I'm just like, well, I wouldn't have said it like that, or like, or he's like all business or something like it's stupid, but it's something I like. I wished I was able to laugh at my own jokes.
yeah.
But I think if I haven't died hard laughing though. I think in a long time. I think when I do remember doing it, and it would make no noise. Where you're, the big,
Like catching your
the
belly laugh,
the
catching your
hardcore. I
breath.
haven't done that in so long.
Oh my gosh, they're the best.
When's the last time you did
It's
it?
the best. When I'm with my friends, probably sailing.
Often, would you say?
Not as often as I would like, but
Let's
but
let's hit this for a minute here,
yeah.
because laughter brings something to you. So I bet you somebody that gets to belly laugh more often, I bet you they tend to be happier.
Oh, agree, because laughing is also a release, just like crying.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So you can move energy and somebody can bust out laugh. That's like people that say they laugh at funerals, but they can't figure out
Oh
why.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's still an emotion. And so, yeah, but belly laughing, oh my gosh, I feel like is like one of the best therapies ever.
No kidding.
But it
I
has to
never
be
make that
organic,
connection.
But however, we do photo shoots and then we pretend to laugh and then we all start
And then you
cackling
do
and
it
then
anyway.
we're actually dying laughing.
Yep.
You know,
I love those moments. Some are my favorite. I think it was because of interrupting. Like I always did that in school. Just the interrupting and doing stuff you're not supposed to is funny to me. Unfortunately, but got me in a lot of
yeah.
trouble.
Yeah.
I do miss the belly laugh. It just doesn't happen as often as it should. But some people, like, and I love having those people around, can laugh at everything. They make you feel funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. There's also a side of that though, but that could go back into where it's avoidance of dealing with hard stuff.
it
Everything is a joke, everything is funny, and
That is a
sometimes it can
defense.
become mean-spirited because then it's the joke of other people and
Yep,
like
absolutely.
so
I can peep that out quicker than shit.
yeah,
I
yeah.
really can.
Yeah. I
Just because
believe
I'm aware of it.
I believe it.
And that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Now that you asked me a question.
Oh yeah, you were talking about food too.
Oh,
Do we want to try our
let's try this
popcorn?
popcorn. I haven't tried
Here.
this yet.
So we have fiery popcorn and we have watermelon hibiscus. So we thought this would be fun to bring
Fiery
on.
hot and watermelon hibiscus. I love that word. Hibiscus.
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 That's a good word. What is hibiscus?
It's a flower.
Oh, is it?
Okay, that's like sweet. Very interesting. I actually kind of like it.
Where'd you find these?
CVS.
CVS?
Uh-huh.
CVS. This is good.
Okay, I want to
I'm
try
not
that.
big on hot,
Me either.
but
I'm gonna try the
it's
fiery.
it's the right kind of hot.
Let's see here.
Let me try this fruit stuff. Clean my palate a little bit though.
Oh, I like the flavor of the fiery hot. That is not me eating.
Yeah, it is.
No.
It's so good. All right, popcorn time. All right, watermelon. Watermelon popcorn.
Oh, I like that fiery.
Fruity popcorn.
And then do the watermelon hibiscus after.
You gotta. I like it both because I mean, like
Totally two different flavors.
going from there to here is refreshing. That's pretty good.
I need a little bit of this after that.
Absolutely. Let's just keep it here and
All
tear it
right.
up while we do this fire.
All right.
We're gonna do a rapid fire round.
Okay.
This is just 6 questions I put together.
All right.
I'm stealing this segment from all my fellow podcasters that I trained so hard to watch and for this podcast adventure. So this rapid fire, I think everybody does this though. I mean, it's cheesy, it's whatever.
I
So
love
we're
it.
gonna do it. Cheese works, right?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Yep.
Morning person or night owl?
Morning.
Vince's or Monroe's Originals?
Neither.
Favorite pizza in Monroe?
None.
None. All right. So we've heard of the Monroe Monster. Now, do you think he's a real monster or do you think he's just misunderstood?
A monster.
Yeah, you want to believe he's a monster.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you're a WWE superstar wrestler, which I know you were in the past, but now that you're not doing that no more,
Yeah.
if you were to choose this song to walk out to, what would it be?
It would be Two Trailer Park Girls Go Around the Outside Without Me by Eminem or Slim Shady.
Slim Shady. That's good. That's good. Okay. Last one. Would you rather fight a one-horsed... Let me say that again. Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck, so a giant duck, or 100 duck-sized horses?
100 duck-sized horses, because that would be fun. Can you imagine little bitty ponies running around everywhere,
guess
letting
it
them run
wouldn't
in
be
your
much of a fight.
house?
Yeah, it wouldn't be a fight.
There would be no fight. It would be so fun.
Now, if you got in a fight, if you had that big-ass duck in front of you, you would be fighting.
Oh, yeah.
It would be cool to see, though. It would be cool
No,
to see
that
just
would
for
not-
a moment.
no.
Yeah, you have to pick one. So I would go with the tiny horses too.
Yeah, yeah.
That would
I'm not a
be-
fighter. I'm a lover.
Yeah. I used to be a fighter.
Me too. If you need a guided meditation, there's an app called Insight Timer that I use. Because in the beginning, I use guided meditations, or if I want to work on anxiety, it's amazing. They're amazing.
That's
You
cool.
can do 5 minute, 10 minute. You can do 1 minute,
Yeah.
and then add a minute next week, and maybe you only do it twice this week, and that is okay. But you have to start somewhere.
You do. You do.
And quieting the mind will also be the start, which will lead into something else. So
Yeah.
then maybe you're going to start journaling
true.
after. You're going to journal afterwards.
Exactly.
So like
See,
you journal.
you don't say, I'm going to start journaling more. You fix something that makes you want to journal.
Yes.
And that's what I was talking about earlier. Like when you start working on some things,
Yeah.
it unfolds other things.
Yeah.
And you're like, dang.
Try the
that's it.
quiet. Try the meditation, and maybe write down 5 things you're grateful for every day, or 3 times a week.
Yep. And if you're anything like me, you don't have because I even it's so bad. I don't take my medications at the same time. I can't even take the same way home every time. If I work wherever, it's that bad for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
So, but if you're like that, just honestly, I've been just doing it whenever it comes to mind. But and I send myself task notes to do it, and then I leave it in my notifications so that for that day, and I'll check all my tasks
Yeah.
to know when.
If you're a checker, like if you're a list and you need to check off your list, write it down then. If
Yeah,
you feel disappointed in yourself because you make all these lists and you don't do it because, you are dealing with ADHD or ADD in a different way where you can't, and then you feel like a failure, don't write it down. Just do it.
Yeah, you gotta find your way. You gotta find your way.
Yeah, and there's
And
not.
don't try to do it like the system allows because it won't work.
It doesn't.
Been trying to do system like working out 3 days on, 1 day off. Nope. I have to work out when I say let's go work out. Which just kind of makes me wonder now: am I feeding into my procrastination?
Well, it could be, but if you have an accountability buddy, maybe, that's. I think it can go both ways.
Do you see what I might be doing to myself?
Oh, yeah.
That just hit me.
Yeah, you can.
Interesting.
But to me, I don't feel like you should create that list if you're going to feel like a failure if you don't get something done and you didn't do it today, and I'll start tomorrow. Like,
Yeah, you can't beat
okay,
yourself up about that because
you
I did
can't.
thinking
And
it was a problem, but it was really just the way that I view everything.
I
But
have,
it could be wrong.
yeah, with age, I have a hard time committing.
Do you?
I do, which was so interesting to me because I mean, I love, but I'm very
Is
spontaneous.
it
I'm very
because-
spontaneous
Is
because
it because you know when you commit, you give it your all? because that's my problem.
Well, yeah,
I won't
I'm
commit
100% in.
because I'm diving.
Yeah, like back when I would party. Yeah, I'm
Got to be careful.
100% in.
Yeah, you got to be careful. If I'm gonna get into skydiving,
Yeah.
like you better believe I'm gonna end up buying a plane.
Yeah.
Like I dive in. That's why I got to be careful with commitment.
Yeah, I think I dive in too, and I'm not gonna half ass things.
Right.
You know, I'm just not. Yeah,
I can't make it. I can't understand that.
me either.
I probably do half-ass things unknowingly.
Yeah,
I guarantee I do.
I'm sure.
I guarantee I do.
I'm sure I do
But
too. But
when it comes to things, I guess that I have to dissect that and process that. When it comes to things that
it's yeah, like
I
the studio. Like my husband was like, "Well, is that really necessary?" Yes, it's necessary. It needs to be this way. Like it just needs to be this way to run.
right,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's so interesting. I mean, life is interesting.
isn't it? It was so cool because I'm unfolding things now, like yeah, on a level like no other. Like uh, nobody knows the whole story, my whole story yet, but like when I say that I'm learning who I am for the first time, it is because I've been so blanketed by what do they call that? Performance acting, but it's like
Um,
masking.
Masking.
So
Yeah,
I was a beautiful actor, you know. As I act, I can be whoever you need me to be, and that
compartmentalizing.
became who I was. And of course, I drank all the time, and so, and I when I say all the time, from the age of 14 till 33, 37, because there's a lot of periods of my times where I drank heavily, mostly every day, and then I would stop for many years, and do it again, many years, off and on. And truth be told, is like all my past friends are going to trip when they hear this, is I went to bed every night not liking drinking, like every time, and I kept that a secret forever. You would have thought that I loved it, and you know, but it made me the life of the party. It made me so everybody want to be around me and pay for my shit. To be honest, I became this person that could be enabled, or I became this person that everybody wanted me to be because I loved the attention. I loved what that brought to me, and it created my personality. It created who I was, because before this in my childhood there was no identity receiving either. Like it was I was kind of by myself a lot, and there was really nobody to look up to, so I didn't gain anything from there either to lead into that, which put me at 33, which is one of my favorite numbers, when I really made the decision to change my life. I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't know what I was going to do about it. I just, something hit me. I know it was God. It had to have been God hit me and said, you have to do something different. And that's when I chose. I didn't drink for many years at that point, but I didn't know what to do. I was left with everything raw. And so I kind of just went through the motions of working and doing my thing, but still never collectively gaining any knowledge. I had no path. I just knew something had to be different. So eventually I went back to drinking because it was me. You know, it was me, and not and having a stripped down version of yourself that's empty and blank is uncomfortable. There's nothing to go on. There's nothing there. So you move on to that again. So I went on to do that quite a few times. And every time in my dry periods, you know, I remember one of the last ones, I just drank 2 pots of coffee every day for like years. Didn't know what to do. I just worked and okay. But so here's what's cool. I don't even know where I'm going. I never do. But coming up to 47 is the next lucky number for me. Like 33 and 47 is so pivotal. Like I think 47, but from 33 to 47, that all happened for me to have this epiphany at 47. And it's the next one. It's the one, okay, now do it again, but figure it out. Get to working. I think I didn't want to work. I didn't know how to get started. Didn't want to work. And do you see how long you can stay in that moment? Like that was what? Was that 14 years of nothing? Nothing. And at first I kicked myself in the ass for not doing it at 33, and now I'm doing it at 47. I'm thankful that I am at 47, but it was another shift. And it was around the time we did our photo shoot. And it was actually just a little bit before that. It was the whole reason why I went off to the photography adventure, because it was my rock bottom. I took my camera. I said, I'm just going to go. And it was like 23 degrees out. I hate the cold. And I ended up staying outside for like 12, 15 hours the first day, just taking photos, thousands of photos. It was so therapeutic. I went and did it again the next day, and then the next day. So 3 days, 12-hour shifts of taking photos. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know why, but it felt good, so I kept doing it, you know. And I guess I'm leading up to 47 here, but
You
so
you do know being outside though, like what that does.
I found out.
Okay,
I
yeah, that's
and,
what, yeah,
and I
like,
ended up. I'm so technical and stuck inside that I at first started off with a grounding mat, and I found out how ridiculous. I just said this is ridiculous. Go outside, dummy. Go outside and touch the grass with your feet. And so yeah, I totally get it. And when I say I'm doing everything, I'm peeping those things out, like
good.
all the tools that it takes. So that's the difference between now, 47 to 49, in this very young journey. But it's the most exciting time of my life because for the first time, it'll shock the shit out of you when you find out you have a moral. It's even more shocking to find out you didn't have any or values. And when you,
Well,
I don't
it's
think
representation of how you feel about yourself.
it's like an instant connection of, oh my God, there's a piece of me that I can see. And it's mind blowing. I don't think people really realize and can identify when they recognize they had a moral. Probably because it was installed as a child. And you don't. But so at 47, when you're at 48, when you're recognizing this stuff on very juvenile kindergarten levels, that's what I'm experiencing right now in every way.
Well, that's like the child within.
I'm 100%. I
Yeah.
feel them.
Oh yeah,
You know?
and loving that part of you, loving that little 7-year-old Ken or that 4-year-old Ken that didn't have that guidance or that 12-year-old Ken that made bad decisions or 14, like I mean, those versions of you are still a part of you and loving them and letting also, shame. Letting go of shame, letting
That's
go
tough.
of
Yeah.
shame,
And guilt.
forgiving and guilt. Yes, forgive yourself. Like go,
That took 2 years.
yeah,
This is taking this whole time. I'm
it's take,
figuring it out now.
yeah, the same.
Because you kick yourself. You're like, come on, dude. Why didn't you do this sooner? Because it affected my kids tremendously.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So like, had I done this sooner, they would have been better off. And
You gotta let that go.
I know
So when you dwell on the past, that's depression. When you dwell on what's next and can't live in the present moment, that's anxiety. So when we come back to the present moment,
and that sums it up. That clears it up.
yeah,
Because that's what you do. You're like, dang, I was living in the past. Because
Yeah.
once you have some of this discovery, you're like blown away that you're 49 now. So that's going to be a process. And I suggest to you guys just go through that too. Just take it in, go through it, but acknowledge that you want it to disappear, And then the anxiety, that's the people rest in that. That's where we live.
yes,
It
it
is
is.
so easy,
And
so
it's
cliche to say to live in the moment.
Yeah.
But there, like, if you really think about that
That's all you
phrase,
have.
I know you do. That's it. And the sad thing is you realize that as you get older.
Yeah.
More so than
I tell
the
my
youngsters,
kids, I'm like, oh my gosh, you might think I'm crazy now, but I hope one day it just really hits you before you're younger. You'll have those tools a little bit younger than because I started my healing process in my 30s, my later 30s. And it took a long time. And I mean, you never completely heal. Let's just be real here. I mean,
Can you share what you started with in your 30s? Do you feel like
yeah, so I went through a divorce. I took a job up here. My job brought me up here to the Toledo area. Um, and I just was not good at relationship, and I had this, I called myself a committophobe, like I don't want somebody telling me what to do. I don't want commitment, blah, blah, blah. And you live this cycle, right? And then fight or flight. I was in fight or flight, corporate America, single mom. I bought a house. I had all the responsibilities. I was partying, also. And, living this fast life. And I come from, and my parents were alcoholics. So I come from dysfunction. So there's a lot of dysfunction. I could get into a lot of things, but that's just the gist of it at that age. But I knew I needed to do something different for Brittany.
is that what kicked it off? Because that's what kicked
It
it off
did,
for me.
yeah, it did because she was diagnosed with a brain tumor at 16. And that started my whole food journey. Like, what do we feed our kids? I mean, it's a fluke, it's a kid, but Let's be real, those TV dinners that we used to think were okay are not okay, you know?
Oh,
So,
right.
yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh.
anyway, that really kind of kick-started it. And then my husband now that came into my life, I knew he was the kind of the real deal, but yet I resisted. It was
The old
back and
you, right?
forth. Yeah, like it was just a little bit of a battle. But that's what started the whole journey. And then the stress of work. And then I started yoga.
Did he refuse to give up on
He did.
your things? Because you were
Yes.
like, I'm not going anywhere. Like,
Yes.
so he stuck, and
Yes.
that's what. Okay,
Yes.
because Lee did the same thing for me.
Yeah.
She refused to give up on me,
Uh-huh.
which is awesome,
That's amazing.
isn't it?
I love
She
Lee.
refused.
Yeah. Yeah, Tom was too. He was persistent
Yeah.
and I'm grateful.
No doubt, because
Yeah,
it allowed you to work through that.
it did.
Imagine getting another one and you're
And I've
it reset
changed.
you back.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. As you change or as you grow, I don't, because you are changing, it does affect the spouse too, because a lot of
Gosh,
times they want you to be that same person, right? Like, well, you're the one that's changing. Hell yeah, I'm changing. Like this is what we're supposed to do.
right.
It's not easy all the time, and I'm grateful for him, especially because we are Catholic, and it's very important for him that his family is Catholic and his kids go to Catholic school and all of that. And then my views have changed, and that was really hard for him, like
I bet.
really hard. But I'm very empathetic to that. And the more empathetic I am to him, the more understanding and empathetic he
You get
is
back.
towards me. Yeah, instead of being like,
Just
combative.
abrasive, yeah,
Yeah,
like or
yeah.
like just
I can turn into corporate Delinda and just be so black and white and so
you
just
betcha.
matter of fact, and I don't like that version of me, because
That sounds
really
like me.
that's not who I really am.
Yes.
Yeah. And the more I come from a place of love and understanding of my husband, the more we are connecting and just growing together.
That is so cool. That's
Yeah.
so cool. That's what
Yeah.
we're experiencing now. And it's mostly because of her putting up with me
Mm-hmm.
and having the hope that it's going to get better. And that's what we're experiencing. And because of my discoveries, it's changing my compassion level. It's changing my understanding. Like, I'm going to be fully honest with you. And I just told her, and this is sad, but like, this is for me to be vulnerable. I was like, oh my gosh. And these are the discoveries I'm talking about. I'm starting to do more things around the house because I don't want you to do them.
That is
It's
big.
hard for me to admit that right
Yeah.
now because of it shows what kind of person what I was. And I did things around the house, but it felt like I was not happy with it. I was not, just irritated. Some of it was repetitious, so it killed me. That's one thing that's hard for a neurotypical person to understand is my distaste for repetition.
Yeah.
But that's a side note. Um, so yeah, and I told her that, and that's probably shocking to hear too. Who says that?
That's amazing, because that's one of our things. My husband is very type A, and I would say a little bit of a workaholic. Not even a little bit, he is. We also run a farm. He is also a professional. He does sustainability, environmentalist. He does life cycle
Oh boy,
analysis of all
jeez.
this. He's crazy smart. But if I don't load the dishwasher right, and I'm like, okay, then you load the dishwasher. That's your job then. I don't care. I'm like, have at it.
Right.
But that's
That's
been
me too, but I don't do it right.
yeah, well, it's just like changing, and I notice when I give him, like I just said, compassion and love, all of that kind of starts dwindling down, and it's not that nitpicking every little thing. Do you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Because I don't like repetition either.
No.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm very spontaneous. Like, hey, let's go to Hawaii next week. Okay, I'm in.
See, this is where it's confusing for me. Like my contradictions, they're hard to deal with because it'd be easier if I just had ADHD. Because I don't. What it does is I'm spontaneous, but I like structure. I need it. I hate repetition, but I like structure. I have check boxes. I mind dump stuff. I have notes everywhere. I like executing things. I like things to always have an answer, a reason, and a place.
Yeah, that's
It's
contradictory.
so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad. And I have a lot of those. Those are
So could you
hard
could you
to
ever
deal
go
with.
on a trip, and if Lee just came to you and said, "Hey, we are going to, I don't know, Key West. We're going to Key West this weekend, and we're just going, no plan, no nothing."
Not, I would be cool with that now.
Okay.
I'm more open to it now because I'm working on that. I'm
Okay.
physically working on that
Good.
because I want to know where we're, where we're staying in, what car, like, so I can look up the car. I want to know that I know where things are in the car, so I don't have to sit there for 15 minutes and learn it. Like, it's stupid what I prepare. Like, you should have seen preparing for this podcast. Like,
Uh,
oh my gosh.
that's so
But
interesting.
I'm letting loose on some of those things. Like the last time when I went to Utah, I went to Utah for that trip. That was so cool. But the first time I went to Utah a couple years ago, I I planned the whole thing out. Even my halfway point where I was going to stay, what time I was going to arrive. This time when I went, I didn't book the hotel until I got tired of driving. That
Wow, that's a
that
big deal.
that was
So was this just for you to go or was this for a job?
this was it was a job.
Okay. Okay,
It was a
gotcha.
job. It was so cool. It's for a big church out there, and they were getting a new website, and they needed some stock. They wanted their own stock photos, so we
Mm-hmm.
staged like hiking in the mountains and mountain biking in the mountains, and they took me around the city, and I got to fly the
Oh,
drone into a couple
fun.
cool places, and even at the church, we set up the pastor smiling and pointing and like doing stuff like that, and like carrying photos for the carrying page, like somebody with their hand on their shoulder. So it was all a bunch of just the stage shots, and it was so cool. I'm so blessed to be able to even do that. That's crazy. That's so crazy cool. And it was because of that
Yeah.
breakdown and photography and
That's really
totally
cool.
switch it. But yeah, that was a
Yeah.
fun trip. I've been out there 3 times now.
I've never been to Utah. I
Oh
want to
my
go.
gosh,
I want to go.
one of my favorite states now, Utah, Wyoming. Wyoming is unbelievable. Like I love, and my experience only comes from I-80 West, but like
I've been to Wyoming.
Wyoming is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's where I seen wild horses running together
Oh,
against a like a wind like the windows picture, like with the grass and blue sky and
yes.
open, and there's just horses. I'm like pinching myself and like thinking I'm in a movie.
I love Colorado. That used to be my territory when I was in sales. And then my niece her husband was stationed in Wyoming, so I would drive over and visit them.
It's just beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's the vastness.
oh my gosh, it's
That's
so
what I'm noticing
beautiful.
that I love about the West, because this is my first time over there. These experiences is the vastness that you see. Like I'm blown away by big things and vast and
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And here you see short distances. We have to look up
Mm-hmm.
to see the sky. Like in those areas, you look straight.
Straight.
Like I come over this one hill in Wyoming and seen at least 5 different storm cells, and
Mm-hmm.
probably so far away from each other.
That's
It was so
yeah,
cool.
it
Like you
is
can see
so.
individual. That's how far you can see.
Or it's 80 degrees and you look up on the mountain and there's snow,
Yeah, yeah.
like it's
Oh my
just
gosh,
so
that's so cool.
fascinating.
That stuff blows my mind. And here's what's funny too. Quick note on that is I'm finding myself struggling finding photos in pretty places. I'm a hunter. Like I'm used to hunting my photos, finding them where they don't belong and stuff. And I'm noticing now that every time I go somewhere where it's pretty, I struggle with finding a photo. I think because it's given to you,
It's yeah,
and
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
what am I gonna
You
do with
like the
that?
game of searching.
Yeah, and then amplifying with
Yeah,
editing and stuff.
yeah.
But I find that funny. So people are always saying when I went to Mexico and like, you must have found some good photos, and I'm like, no, I don't. I didn't. I
Yeah,
didn't. Every time I go somewhere pretty,
yeah.
I'm looking in like for dust and cobwebs and stuff,
Right.
or something.
In Utah, it's a blue zone for the US. I mean,
For the 100-year-olds,
yeah, I don't know that it's officially a blue zone, but I think it's the closest to the blue zone that we
I think
have.
you're right because I didn't think we had any here. And
Yeah,
you were the closest
something
to
to
it.
that. Yeah, yeah.
And
So,
that the blue zone is just basically where areas of the world where basically their cemeteries are filled with people that died in their hundreds. I
yeah.
guess that's the best way to
Well,
explain it,
yeah, it
right?
is. And what are they doing to live that? Typically it's community.
It is.
It's community. I mean, there's people that drink wine every day and they still live under it. So,
You're exactly right.
it's really,
I
yeah.
looked into these blue
It's
zones. It's
fun.
funny you mention that because I was blown away. Here are some of the things that they held, and this is across the whole world. They held simultaneously, like the connection, the common denominator, were some of the ones that there was a bunch of them, but the ones I remembered were sweet potatoes. They all grew their own farm, and there was something to that. It was because of the quality of the food, but they had to work, and it was mostly found. I found this interesting on elevated areas, elevation areas where people had to walk up and down. It was where transportation is least. It's so what it came to. If you guys hear them kids in the back, we got some kids next door we're just gonna let them be a part of the podcast.
Yeah, they're
So,
having fun over there.
you hear 'em?
They're dancing and
I think they're supposed to stop it when they're supposed to be done.
oh yeah,
That's all right.
121. Yeah.
All right, there's probably a couple running around having fun, but we're gonna let them be on the podcast this time, along with their
Yes.
fan noise. So
Yes.
whatever,
It
whatever.
works.
But what was I talking about?
We were
Anything?
talking about the Blue Zone, but
Oh yeah, yeah, just
yeah.
those common denominators.
I'm
But
going to Costa Rica in November to a retreat, and it's more about biohacking. There's a doctor there as well. I'm going with my friend Kimmy, who owns California Yoga in Sylvania, Ohio. She's holding a retreat there. She's very well known for retreats.
yeah,
She's amazing. She's
is
a
that what you
mentor.
started doing it for? I mean, because of
No,
her? No.
no, no, but but I'm doing her retreat just myself for myself.
Yeah. Oh, cool. So your
Yeah, so
own.
it's 7 days of me being there and doing ozone therapy and doing all the stuff and movement and
So you're doing the same thing. You're adding tools to your shed, at every cost. That's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, this is just really for me. Like this is her specialty and I just felt a calling to be there. So and I've never been to Costa Rica either and I'm
Me
excited
neither.
about that.
I've never been anywhere.
Yeah.
That's gonna be.
I love traveling.
I thought I did.
Yeah, so if you ever get into like I don't know much about astrology, but I find it very fascinating. And when we were at the retreat in North Carolina, I pulled up like my rising moon when I was born, and my friend Shannon, who has been a big mentor, she owns a yoga studio in North Carolina, and she kind of went through and explaining who I was, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is me. Like I forget if it's Sagittarius or something, I don't know, but I feel unsettled. Like if I'm not traveling somewhere, I feel stagnant,
Stagnant.
stuck, and I feel like I'm suffocating.
Really?
Yes.
So when you know you're setting up a trip, you're on your phone or whatever, does the excitement start there
Oh yeah, absolutely.
from the
I
instant?
feel a relief immediately.
Yeah.
I leave for Cape Cod next week. I go to Costa Rica in November. I have
Dang.
Tulum in January. We have Florida for spring break for my son who's going to be a senior with all his friends in March. So
Jeez.
when I have something scheduled, I need something scheduled.
Yeah.
And I try to explain that
Something
to
in the
my
books.
husband, because he keeps us balanced, right? Like he's
Yes.
frugal. Keeps
This
the
is
money in
identical
line.
to us.
Yeah, it keeps the money in line. And I'm like, oh, it's a party. I'm traveling.
It's so funny you say that.
Yeah,
That's so us.
so but I did explain to him, I said, listen, it doesn't need to be anything crazy elaborate. I have to go. Like I just do. But I was in sales. I traveled all the time. And I
Right.
traveled alone. I ate alone. I mean, and I
Now,
didn't mind those
are you
things.
the traveler, like, or when you travel, do you, because I'm sure you're excited, do you talk to the person on the plane? Do you talk to the person standing in line for whatever? Do you,
So I used to be well, you know what? I don't know. Sometimes
yeah,
if I feel an urge, but in general, no.
no,
It's not that I'm rude though, but I will make a comment. Like, if something happened, like, oh my gosh, what was that?
right,
Have those kind of conversations. But I think, is that my personality? Yes. I talk to the stranger on the street. I say hi. I make eye contact. I speak to people.
yeah,
I don't ignore them and act like they don't exist. But when I traveled all the time, taking on other people's energy, and the airport is so overwhelmed
mm,
with energy. And I would really just try to create this bubble in some ways. So I wasn't taking
I
on.
think that's the standard for people when they go to the airport, unless you're with
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah.
You kind of
Yeah.
just put on your headphones, you look at your
But
phone.
But let me tell you a story. So when I moved up here with my job, I didn't know anybody. I'm a single mom. I moved over in Falling Timbers. I don't know if you know. It's down in
I've heard of that.
Waterville. So my daughter and I was flying to Myrtle Beach. It was Spirit Airlines. It was the old airport, 2002, 2003 time
Oh
frame.
wow.
And I was sitting at the bar. I went in to get a drink and not alcohol because I was traveling. Was I traveling for work? I can't remember. But I was sitting there and I got a drink because it was right by my gate. And this girl walks in and sits beside me and starts talking to me. And then Lou Ferrigno walks in.
Oh my gosh.
Now, this girl is buff. Like, I mean, I was in shape, but she was like really in shape. And he looks at her and he looks at me and he looks at her and he looks at me and then he chooses to sit beside her.
Ah,
She looked at me, she's like, "Do you know who that is?" I had no idea who he was.
Because he wasn't green.
Yeah, right. But he was big, but he had his hearing aid thing in. So I was like, she's like, that's Blue Ferrigno. And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah. And so some kids came up and asked him for an autograph. Well, her and I talked and we exchanged cards and told her I just moved to the area. She's from, lived in Toledo forever. And her and I are best friends to this
No
day.
kidding. Is she still buff?
Yeah, she's 10 years older than me now. She's slowing down a little bit, but she's very active, always working out.
No kidding.
Yeah, she's the godmother to my son. Yeah,
That's cool.
I know.
Did Lou look huge in person?
Yeah, he was big.
Was he?
Yeah, he was big. Yeah, and he was so kind to the kids, which I
Was he?
loved. Yes, he was very sweet to
He was a
them.
good dude. I know a lot about that world because I was so worried about my size, so I studied Arnold Schwarzenegger and Frigno, and that was my time, my era. So I'm very familiar with.
Yeah,
He's a good dude.
yeah. So that's how I met my friend. So I would say I'm not rude at an airport, but I can also be friendly.
Yeah.
But also I can get creepy. Like I've had somebody write me a letter on the airplane and have it brought to me.
Like back in school days.
Oh my gosh, it was bizarre. Like,
Did it have a yes or no checkbox
no,
at
it's
the
just
bottom?
like that he had been admiring me and really just would like to get together and, this is my number.
What did you
And
think of that?
I thought, ew.
Would you?
I was not flattered
Not at all?
no, and I don't know why. Because, I think a lot of pressure goes on men, right? But I don't know.
Now, did you look at him first before you got?
I don't remember seeing him
Oh
at
no!
all.
It was
Mm-mm.
instantly like, ew.
Yeah, and then I had some guy taking pictures of my feet. He was sitting beside me. He was taking
And
pictures of my feet
without like,
well, yeah, I didn't give him permission. Like
and he's just blatantly doing it.
oh yeah, and you can hear it. Yeah, and I'm like looking at his phone, and I'm like, what are you doing?
That's a thing, man.
It
There's some
is a
guys out there, isn't
thing.
it? Guys, like that's a big
Now
thing.
I have old lady feet, but back then I guess I had cute feet. I don't
No
know.
kidding.
I guess
So
should I
you're
sell
on
those
somebody's
pictures?
wall somewhere, still on their phone in their little lock.
Uh-huh.
Like that's so funny.
Yeah, I had some guys at one time too, just make a totally comment to me in front of the whole freaking plane. Like it can be embarrassing.
Do you like flying?
I love flying
You
now.
do?
I used to hate it.
Really?
Oh yeah, I had anxiety. I would have to take something.
I would have to be drunk. I don't like it. Like even if I went now, I would drink.
Did you drive to Utah?
Oh yeah, I will drive at all costs. 25 hours.
Oh my gosh,
So
you
I
are
drove-
crazy.
I drove 13, stayed the night, drove another. I loved every minute of it.
Did you fly to Mexico?
Unfortunately, 2 planes.
Yeah. Oh, see, I love it now.
I just do. I don't like not being in control.
Yeah, I don't like the car.
I won't ride on the back of a motorcycle. I won't skydive. I won't bungee jump. I won't do a lot. I'm just not a risky person. But
That's too funny.
I know, I know. What else? I love the fact that we went way off topic, but what else do I have here? Like, we were talking, of course, I want to know, before we go into just a little bit more of the sound therapy, I think we touched on it and stuff, but tell me about the stand-up paddleboard yoga. Like, that is a compound statement that sounds like something that I could not do. Like,
Yeah,
is this
you
for
can
like
do it.
expert superheroes or something?
No, it's for everybody and anybody.
When you add
and
paddleboard though to standing up,
Yeah,
to
so
yoga,
Holly-
and
so-
juggling,
yeah, no, you're not juggling.
Right.
But well, I guess you could be juggling your hands because you're trying to balance.
yeah, tell me about
But,
that though. I've seen
So Holly, she teaches at California Yoga. She also does stand-up paddleboard yoga. That's her thing. And last year I can't remember. I think maybe she reached out to me. So we thought, let's see how it goes. Because I have a couple paddleboards too. So we ended up selling out all of the sessions. So we scheduled them
Okay.
again for
How
this
many?
year. We have 6 boards. So
Six
each
boards?
session has 6 people. Yeah.
and then two of you instructors or one? Just
No,
the one
she
instructor?
does. She does it.
Oh, she does.
I'm out there helping. Like I'm there to. So we have anchors for each board.
Okay.
So they're anchored, so they can't just
So they don't
float
keep
away.
moving away
yeah,
from
yeah,
everybody,
yeah, yeah.
right.
Yeah, because the first one we did, I didn't have anchor for my 2. I didn't know that was a thing.
Is it a front and back anchor so it don't shift
Yeah,
too?
yeah, it's only like a 5-pounder, like
Oh,
little,
gotcha.
and the claws come out.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's perfect. But let me tell you, people are not expert yogis. Most people have never been on a paddleboard to do yoga.
It sounds like fun.
It is so fun.
Just to get to the point to be able to
Oh my
yoga
gosh! And you
is probably
laugh,
fun.
you have fun,
How,
and she
how
is
can people
amazing.
sign up?
Go to monroeyoga.net and go to events, and you can sign up right there. It will take you to Fit Degree. You do have to create an account, which is, I know, annoying, but it's the customer interface that we have to use to schedule classes and things. And you can sign up and purchase right there.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome. Well,
yeah.
good.
So yeah,
I hope
so
that fills
come
up.
out.
I might even have to try this.
Oh my
I
gosh,
think I might be trying a
you
lot of
and
this.
Lee should do it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I
I
think
think it
she
would be
would. I
fun.
think she
Yeah,
would.
yeah,
I think she would.
yeah. It'd be
Awesome.
fun.
I'm going to. So I still want to talk just a few questions about sound therapy, but we're kind of moving around, and that's fine, right?
Yes.
Oh, I want to know if anything, if has anything ever happened bad when you were doing a sound therapy class? Does anything crazy happen during the class? Like either from did you drop something on somebody? Did you?
Oh my gosh, I have clanked things the wrong way. Like the wooden part hit the Tibetan bowl, which is metal, so I've made loud noises, but I have not.
Has anybody ever farted?
No, snoring.
Snoring?
Yeah. Oh, big snoring. Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
imagine
people
that.
fart in yoga for sure, but no. No, I'm trying to think.
Nothing too crazy then. That's
No, I
good.
mean, some people had like their body heat up. I mean, yes. I mean, like they've had their body heat up. It's not really a negative thing though. And
Right.
like just feel this huge release and they're like it felt really weird, but I'm just going with it kind of thing. Um, I'm trying to think. There
And
was something, but I can't remember.
have you ever like put yourself to sleep? Like, is it the sound therapy so good it worked on you when you're doing your class? Like, have you ever
Uh,
zoned out? Or you're probably in this
I
like,
am in a different air. I'm in a different space for
yeah,
sure. So, am I receiving the frequency? Yeah, but I still have to
probably in a
ground. I
different
still
way
have to cleanse my energy and ground myself after
before and after,
session.
probably, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I clear my energy before for sure because I don't want to transfer anything to anybody. Yeah, and then afterwards I will clear my energy and do a grounding. Whether it can, and taking a bath, like taking a bath cleanses. Soaking your feet can cleanse. There's
Oh,
certain
yeah.
essential oils. Copal. Copal is used in Mexico, for clearing energy. Palo Santo, sage. I mean, you can do all of those things.
So, I guess it set me up with what we're gonna do when we go.
So when you come in, since you guys are doing the private session, you're coming to the sound studio and it's beautiful and you're going to immediately feel relaxed. We can talk for a few minutes, then I will have you guys lay down. I have Japanese nap mats, and they're very comfortable for being on the floor. You have a blanket, you have pillows.
Can I bring snacks, or
You
is that kind of
no,
frowned upon?
yeah, you're not going to bring snacks because you need to get into the
Yes,
zone,
yes, yes.
right? But you can for after.
Okay.
And we'll go through a little meditation. We'll go through some breath work. I will go through kind of what I'm doing. I don't energetically, so intuitively, I play as I'm told. So
Okay.
you can take that for whatever, that might be another podcast, but it's like it's an intuitive feeling. I know
Well,
how
that's
long to play the gong. It will automatically tell me to stop, and I will know we're done here. And before I move on to the next thing.
See, that's a
S-
full experience. That's where it needs to come from
Yeah,
the instructor.
yeah,
Is it needs to come from that spot.
it does because, and then I know when it's done. Like I'm very clear on when it's done. I have had, and I don't know that I'm comfortable, but it's not something that I nurture. But I have had, my friend, her mother had passed away, and her mom, like, kept talking to me persistently. And it was really like, am I hearing things? Like it can get a little weird. So, and I wasn't comfortable like sharing that information, but it's not really up to me to be comfortable. I shared with her and she cried. I cried because I shared because I was asked to share.
Isn't it amazing
And
what comes out of your mouth like changes or helps people?
yeah, but I had to let go of her thinking, is she lying to me? Is she just making this up?
Really?
Do you know, like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I go to. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
because people are skeptical or that's evil, that's evil. You can't do, well, I'm doing nothing evil. And,
Right, right.
so yeah,
Oh my
I had a
gosh.
situation with my aunt too. My uncle, I was in my kitchen and I was doing sound training. So, I mean, I have been in sound all week, practicing, learning, and so I was so open to energy. And I'm in my kitchen and I'm bent over the counter and I'm scrolling on my phone. I think I'm heating up a cup of tea, and something pokes me, literally pokes me in my side. And I look around, I thought it was Delaney. She's on the couch, and I'm like, I'm looking around, there's nothing there, nobody there. And it just freaked me out. So
Dang.
I went and I'm like, okay, I don't know what's happening here and what just happened, but if you are not here for the good of my family and the good of me, like, or do you need to say something? And it was my Uncle Bernie,
Wow.
clear as day, said, you need to tell your Aunt Pat she needs to move on and know that I love her, but
No
she needs
kidding.
to move on.
See, that stuff gives me
Oh my gosh,
goosebumps.
it gives me chills to
Like,
this day.
because
So
I, it's so, when you live in an area of energy and you work it and you live it, like, that stuff comes to you.
it
You become a
does.
portal.
You do become a portal. I am not completely open to just allow that to come in all the time because
It can be good and bad.
yeah, it's too overwhelming for me. Um, but as I get more comfortable and more grounded and more confident in what I'm doing, it comes
You can
through.
almost filter it
Oh yeah, it comes through
once you
really
become,
clear.
yeah.
Yeah, I had another mother who lost a child, and he came through and he basically said that he wasn't meant to be on here on earth,
Yeah.
and that he
Mm,
really wants her taking care of herself and that he loves her very much. So but letting go of what people think, right? I
right.
asked permission. I don't just give this out. Like, I asked for something came through. Do you want to know? Um, but I'm also getting past the point of where, do they think I'm lying? Do they think I'm making this up? Is this
Right.
really for real? What game are you playing? And that's my own issue. So I'm really working on, I'm
I can
delivering
see
a
that.
message. I'm a portal. Just like you said,
Yeah.
I'm a portal. I'm a conduit.
Yep.
And anybody has the ability to do this. It's just if they choose to or not. Um, and I deliver the message. It's really up as long as they give me permission to deliver the
That's a
message.
responsibility there.
It
And you're
is.
going to have that thing too, because I would be bad at that too,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm such a hold that stuff, people pleaser or whatever. But
Yeah.
what are they going to think of me? Um,
Yeah. Even
so,
saying it here, I'm like, oh, shoot, people might hear
yeah.
this.
See? Yeah. Yes. I totally get it. It's
Ah.
just because of the ignorance about it,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm.
And then that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I have another though. I have another one. So one of our members at the studio, I love her. Actually, you know her too, but um, she was having some issues health wise and wasn't able to sleep, and it was really creating a lot of stress and numbness, and um, I forgot what else she had. Something else was going on. Like it really was stressing her out, like she was going to doctors. And she came to sound, and she was looking forward to the gongs. And so afterwards, when I was done, I said, I know the gongs were pretty intense tonight. It's what came through for me to play and really get, really stir up things. And she's like, you did not play the gongs. I said, yeah, I did. They were really intense tonight. No, you did not, because I was specifically listening for the gongs. So she went into that subconscious.
Wow.
So a couple of days later, I was thinking about her because I knew she was going through all this stuff, and I reached out to her, and she's like, "You're not going to believe this. That night, I slept so hard. My husband had to check on me, like to make sure I was okay, and I haven't had any issues since." And she
Wow.
hasn't had any since. I mean, I think she had a little bit of tingling in a hand, something to that
That's
effect.
insane. But
She
again,
is like, yeah, she'll tell you.
it's the tenseness too, the physical
Well,
must.
the mind body connection too.
Yes,
And then once
that's
you get in your head, then
I've experienced it, the tightness and stuff. I do it constantly.
Mhm,
I do it with my jaw, and
mhm.
I always try to consciously stop.
Yeah,
But
she was losing muscle. What do you call it? Like she couldn't grip
oh,
things.
strength,
So
the grip
yeah,
strength.
yeah. Well, anything like muscle weakness, like she couldn't do things. Like
Dang,
it
that's
was,
crazy.
yeah. So she thought it was neurological, and then yeah, she
Wow.
just was not feeling right. So yeah, it's just yeah. There's so many stories.
We could
My
probably.
husband was like, "What are you spending all this money on these
Has he done it? Has
things?"
he done it?
Oh, he is a huge.
The advocate, huh?
Oh
No,
yes, I mean
that's cool. So he has to get his fix every
he
night.
does. He does.
I hope that's what it turns into for me.
I hope so too.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Let us talk about the giveaway. A
Ah,
chance to get something for free.
yeah.
So go ahead.
So I think what we'll give away is the a private sound session.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I think that's a private sound session is $75, so that gives you an idea of what that costs. Um, and but it's very specific to you. And also, a month membership, we can do the intro offer. So you have 30 days of unlimited access to all the classes.
That's awesome. And that's awesome. And the rules for that, you guys, is you have to like Monroe Yoga on Facebook and me as well. And you just have to share this episode and subscribe to my YouTube channel, my podcast, my new podcast. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like both of us on Facebook and share this episode on your page. And then on the next episode, episode 3, at the very beginning, is when I'll do the announcement of the winner live. Okay? And I think that brings us to an intermission because I have to go potty.
Okay.
Okay?
Me too.
Bang. Let's dive into talking about Monroe here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share screen. I'm going to flip over to our what I like to call our share screen, and this will be our share screen where we see media and look at fun stuff of other people's stuff. But I just wanted to, I really wanted to talk about a couple things in Monroe that I just see on Facebook. I'm a creative person, so I'm a magnet to other creative people and things. So I just wanted to highlight a couple things that I've been noticing. And none of these people asked me to do this, so I hope they don't mind. But I already kind of gave it away with keeping that thing on the screen when I opened it up. But we're gonna start with what I found. I found this just out of nowhere, and it definitely deserves to be looked at. Here we go. It's the first one, called Watercolor Illustrations. I came across this on Facebook, and the Monroe caught me. Because you see something on Monroe and it catches you. So I read on, and I'm like, wow. So I went over to the page and I seen a couple more. Let's just flip through a couple of these.
Yeah, there was an article in the Monroe News, and that's where I saw it, and I'm following them now. Her work is so beautiful.
so
I hope she
cool.
comes and does Monroe Yoga.
Yeah, say something. Maybe she'll watch this.
I
hopefully.
know.
So there's one. Here's another one. This is of the Hotel Sterling.
That's so beautiful.
It's so creative and so like it's a watercolor I like.
Yeah.
I can't guess what's happening here, but I think it starts with watercolor as the base and then comes in with something fine afterwards artistically.
Yeah. I
And
don't know.
It's just I love it. Here's another one. The Craving Store, which was pretty
Where's the
it's
Craving
beautiful.
store?
That's right at the intersection of Washington and Frontier. Right?
Oh, so that's a new place that opened.
Well, they've been around here forever, but
Oh,
see,
wait,
they used to
maybe-
be like snacks, like chocolates and ice cream. They had Dole Whip there. But they kind of transferred over. That kind of went to the wayside. I think they still go out to the Monroe County Fair. Now they do like sports cards and comic books and things like that.
Oh, okay.
Yep, it's like right on the corner. They always played music outside
Okay.
at the time. But here's another one. This is that dog.
Oh,
doggy
yeah.
store.
Scallywags.
Yeah, Scallywags, that's what it is. But yeah, she's got more on there, and it looks like she keeps doing it. And she's asking, or I really don't know, asking for
I think
people.
it's a she.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, because I think they were even asking, hey, will you tag the owners? So she's doing this kind of like what I used to do. I used to go take photos of buildings and be like, look how this could be. Like,
Yeah.
But I found that was the wrong way to go about it. I was offending people because I would take a picture of their location and amplify it, like with a paint job, with decals, with clutter and things like that. And it just worked against me. I thought I was doing something fun. A lot of the community liked it, but I don't think the owners did so much.
Oh,
But
I never thought about it that way.
I didn't either, so I won't do that again. But yeah, this is beautiful, and I was surprised. But I hope to see more of this. Yeah, and I'd like to see Monroe Yoga because Monroe Yoga's got a really cool corner.
I
there.
love our corner. Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, go check it out on Facebook, you guys. Give this person
is
a love.
talented. Yeah,
give
she's
her some
talented.
love. All right, moving on to this next person here. It's Living Local Monroe. Our buddy Joel does this page, and it's
yes.
doing really well. He gets a lot of action on there. It's because he does some good things.
Yeah.
He has a good style. He talks on camera like no other.
Yeah, he's good.
He'll be on the show. I'm sure at some point.
Yeah.
Because he does a podcast too, and I'll probably end up.
Oh,
on
he
there.
does? I didn't know that.
He does a Bakura. The Bakura is a it's a it's a I don't want to speak wrongly about it, but it's a platform for local people to jump on board, and it's organized. It's organized by Fallon. Her name's Fallon. You can find her on Facebook as well. But so she's trying to broadcast local material because now raw, real stuff is doing well. It's becoming people's go-to on YouTube to watch regular stuff. So you can go on there, and what she does is she finds sponsors for the show. People subscribe to you.
How do they how do they pick people?
You could really just make the connection, and you get a packet of the things that you got to do. I think there's some things, I don't want to speak about it too much, but there's like an outline. You have to have like so many episodes already in the bank. And eventually you work towards getting paid by these sponsors and stuff, because you're going to use, and it's so cool how she does it.
But how do they choose who they're interviewing? What are they talking about? Downtown Monroe?
Oh, you're talking about Joel's?
Yeah.
Oh, Joel's show.
Yeah.
Because there's all kinds of shows. There's Monroe Public Schools. There's.
Oh, yeah, no. I was talking about Joel's show. Yeah, so Living Local Monroe.
No, this is not connected. So this would be just his Facebook, like for
okay, gotcha.
Monroe News.
I understand.
Disconnected from his. Joel does a lot of things. He's
Yeah,
kind of
he
like
does.
me.
Yeah.
Kind of like me. I love it.
I see that.
But anyway, for this project, because we could talk about Joel's things for quite some time. Awesome dude. But so he put together just he got some artists together to do some T-shirts for Monroe, so he could sell at nomadic nights and a couple other things he does, and just to have them randomly for.
Is it nomadic nights or lights?
I get it. I say it different every time. So I think I say lights because it brings lots of cool lights.
But you just said nights.
I said
so
nights.
That was good.
I think I was right.
But I was
this
like,
time.
okay, what is that, right? Is it
I
lights
say
or
it different
nights?
every
Okay.
time too,
That's so
and
funny.
I probably always will.
Yeah.
But so yeah, this one is the old school Monroe logo, which is cool. That used to be on the water tower. And this is a cool, I wish I could zoom in a little bit, but this says Monroe in a very cool font. It looks good. So an artist had done that. I wish to have been more prepared, and so I could disclose these artists. But I do know one of them, and that's this guy. I did that one.
Yeah, that's
I took
awesome.
that picture, and it was just fun. I wanted to be a part of that, so I put one together. And this one is about the Monroe
Bigfoot.
monster. That's my favorite. It's got a little fun saying there, but again, I'm unprepared and I don't know.
That's okay.
But-
You shouldn't say that
Yeah,
because
I
you're
should.
about
I'm calling it out, ain't I?
Yeah, but you're the most
trying to excuse myself.
prepared person ever. So yeah,
No, I don't know if that's good or bad. It's both, right? But so
it doesn't have to be either. It doesn't have to be good or bad.
It
It can just be.
yeah, I think maybe I should just take that approach. Right?
Yeah.
I like that approach. But Joe does some cool stuff. Check out his stuff. If you go to Facebook and look up Living Local Monroe, follow, like him, and buy a T-shirt. Represent. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
All right, and we got one more person I want to highlight. This person is a fellow advocate for mental health. He wants to put together his groups he's got coming up, lined up. He meets with some guys digitally, and he talks about men's mental health. You know, he has a path just like all of us do with it, and some of us go after it publicly, and he does. And on top of that, he's an amazing artist. He does some paintings, some drawings, some digital drawings, and he's always up at the Monroe County Fair inside the MB&T building. I don't know if he is going to be this year, but he was last year. And he does the shows downtown when we have them, but he does a lot out and about too in different states, you know, Detroit and other
Yeah, I
areas.
saw that there was one the end of July
That
in Detroit that he's going to be at.
So here's some of his stuff. His name is Lloyd Cheatham Jr.
I'm following him now.
Yes, he is so good. So here's some of his style, which is so awesome. So here's one of his paintings I
Oh,
just
wow.
pulled from Facebook. And I love I just love the style. The black, I've always liked the black and white with some color.
Yeah.
Usually it's only one color for me, but he does it in a way that's just so cool. Here's another one. He'll take somebody and put it on a coat. I'm not sure what the application of this, but I've seen the finished product and they're just so cool.
That is cool.
Then This style again.
Oh, I
You
love
got
that
your
one.
your bold, heavy blacks
Yeah.
and the color is just so good. Here's one. This one is just a different style one to show how he just artistically like
That's like
breaks away
comic book.
from the he colors outside the lines. We know he
Yeah.
does. We know. I know you, Lloyd. I know it. So good.
Nice,
And
Lloyd.
then here's another
Oh,
one.
I like that.
That one's so cool. There's some stomping. That's so good. And that one there.
I like that
It's just
too.
kind of really good style. His stuff speaks. It says something.
It does.
You know. And I always like to do that with photography as well. But Lloyd, keep kicking.
Hey, Lloyd.
Right, right. Nice work, nice work. Good job, good job. The crowd loves you. Go follow, go check out Lloyd. Check it out. Check out what he's doing. He's doing some cool stuff. All right, Delinda. Now, I was skimming and like scurrying and hiding and looking through your Facebook. And I pulled out some photos. And I would like some context. I think we
Okay.
all would. So here's the first photo. And I just want some context.
All right.
Here it is. What is happening here? Because without
Obviously, my husband was taking his clothes off, right?
right, right. What for?
We are in an ice bar, and all of my friends that were with us are most of them are from the South, and get cold very easily. And he's like, "It's not cold in here," and he starts taking his shirt off and the jacket and all that. And so and you can see I'm bundled up because they give you gloves, they give you a cape because the seats are actually iced too.
Right.
So yeah, so we're in an ice bar, and all of my friends started taking pictures. So there's like a million pictures out there that they have of Tom.
So are you like pinching his nipples or
I think I did.
or or is he just cold?
I think I might have just been trying to
think
keep
so.
him warm.
Even locating it would make me smile. Like if you're trying to locate it with like the finger location,
I know.
that would make me smile. So okay, perfect. Thanks for the context of that
is
because when I looked
so
at it,
funny.
you know, and I had plenty to choose from.
Yeah, I know you did.
So, all right, here's that one. Here's another one. Give us context here.
So we went to my brother-in-law and sister-in-law's town. It's actually in Belleville, Michigan.
Yeah.
And they had like a little bar crawl thing that they do. So we decided to go with them this year. And we were having a little bit of fun, like changing the sign
And that
around.
says fart. I'm guessing. I'm
It
sure.
does.
What did it say?
I can't remember.
No,
No.
but there is definitely a
But it
fart
was,
special
but yeah,
going on.
the first word was a good word too. I just can't remember what it was. It was something
went
fart
together good.
special. Yeah.
So everybody that came in after you thought that there was a fart special.
Yeah. I'm sure,
sure you
they
did.
did not appreciate that, but
They may have though.
they might have
Look,
laughed.
we're talking about it, right?
I know.
All right, thank you for that. And then this last one, it was kind of confusing, but hey, you tell me.
Oh my gosh, I cut my hair. I was playing an elf in a play. That is not that's my face,
Yeah.
but obviously you created
Yeah.
this.
The hands are.
I know the hands are kind of creepy.
They're
Those little
definitely huge. The proportion on those are.
Oh, like little thumbs.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Well, that it looks like the morning photo of maybe a Monday or something.
Yeah, it looks like an elf.
But if you're that happy on a Monday morning,
Hey, I am. I'm.
Who cares
so
what you
happy.
look like, right?
Exactly.
how
Exactly.
fun, how fun. Thank you for playing sport on that. All right, let's kick it back to both screens. Here we are again with popcorn in our face and doing silly things, but having a good time. So we hit a lot of my BS on here already. And we talked about the giveaway. We did all this stuff, and I'm not supposed to be talking about like this. The other thing that I want all my guests to do is bring something for my next guest. Mm-hmm. Either bring an item or a question.
Okay.
And so what did you choose?
So I chose.
An item.
Yeah, so I have
Looks like an
several.
item.
I have several items. I have a
Wow, okay.
Monroe Yoga bag, which is
Can I see that? Yeah.
Yeah, so which is lined inside, so it's great for the farmers market. So it has like a little plastic lining in there.
Oh, right. So it doesn't.
And yes, and then inside I have a gift certificate.
What?
Yes, for
Dang.
a free month at Monroe Yoga. It's called the intro offer. I also have two pens. Two pens. I have nice pens.
Do they have nice flow
They
when you
do.
write with them?
Yes, they do. And they have little stylist on the end. They're great.
Nice.
Monroe Yoga. But this is a gift that I love to give. And so I hope whoever this goes to, that whenever they use it, they just feel all the love coming from Monroe Yoga.
what do we got?
Because this is called a Kantha throw.
Kantha?
Kantha, Kantha. But the colors, so it's made from saris from India. So women wear them. It can be the scarves, it can be the wraps, it can be all of the things. And then they take and upcycle the saris, so none are ever the same. So
Really?
yeah, and then they stitch them, well, quilt them.
So they're all handmade?
It is, yeah. So then this is called a kantha stitching. Like it's a unique way that they stitch the saris together. And the more you use them and wash them, the softer they get.
Really?
I have a ton in my house, and it's something I love to gift.
That's
I
awesome.
like to give gifts of meaning.
I'm not sure
And
who that next guest is gonna be, but
I hope
I
they
did not
love it.
expect that.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. I can't wait to see what people do with this.
I know.
That's why I opened it up. I wanted to be.
So
surprise
don't let
myself.
your next guest see the podcast before
Oh yeah,
they get here.
but I don't even know. So
Yeah.
they're just gonna be like. Hopefully they watch the podcast,
Yeah,
but you gotta
yeah.
watch it pretty deep to get this
Yeah.
info. But awesome, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you for
You're
bringing that for my next guest. They're gonna
welcome.
be excited for real. That is so cool. So, what we have left then is I definitely got to do my sound bath that I'm so
Yes.
excited for. But I have one more surprise. We're gonna kind of get out of here for a second. Maybe grab a McChicken, or no, we're not gonna do a McChicken.
We are not doing McDonald's. I do not eat at McDonald's.
I don't blame you. Don't make me feel bad.
No judgment on those that eat at McDonald's because my kids love McDonald's.
It's just me and the McChickens. But
Yeah,
the worst thing is when they give me a receipt for it. I'm gonna go here for a second.
Okay.
Of course, I'm weird as all get out, and I have quirky things, but this is one of my quirky things that I've been dealing with. A lot of my quirky things come out when I'm driving. One is my secret road rage, and I don't like receipts. Like I have a thing. I signed up for Monroe McDonald. I only like their McChickens, but their app, because you can tie your card to it. So if I use my app, the card will be charged when I order it. So there has to be no transaction, like which I dig. You know, I dig places like Tim Hortons. They don't even give you a receipt. I love it. They don't ask you. They don't give
Oh,
you.
that's awesome.
There's a couple places. I love the places that ask you, "Do you want me to put it in the bag?" Yes. Like it's not about touching it. It's so unimportant to me. It bothers me. I think it's just silly. So I always did even videos before about receipts, and like I was thinking, I legitimately asked a question. I'm like, somebody please help me. Like, I bought a McChicken for like $1.06 or whatever it was at the time, and they want to give me a receipt for that. Like, I like to ask questions. I'll be like, why do we do this? Is there a better way to do this? What the heck? And I think it's funny. I watch people just do things just because. Like, they don't question things. And I think that's okay. I think that's the majority of people. But I question everything. It's kind of like, do you ever hear that ham story? Grandma's ham. She always cut the butt end off of the ham. Well, so she cut the butt off of the ham when she cooked for her family, whenever, for holidays or whatever. And she would cook it. So what happened is the kids of that mom that did that started cutting the butt off their ham as they cook it, and then their kids noticed it and started picking up the same thing. So what was funny is that the reason why Grandma was cutting the butt off the turkey or the ham was because her pan wasn't big enough. It's the only reason. So it was never asked why Grandma did that. So people just, I think, naturally follow and do things. I think we still have things today, traffic lights being one of them, that we just deal with. We are so advanced that we could probably kill it with some street lights now, but we don't. We just accept them. They're clunky. They're not smart. And we just accept it. That bothers me. And the same with receipts. There might be some legitimate reasons to get a receipt, but for McChicken, no. Don't tell me why I need a receipt. The government is not going to compensate me for that McChicken. I don't need to go home and prove that I ate a McChicken.
What did they talk? Have you read about the chemicals that come off the receipts?
I haven't.
Yeah,
Give me more ammo.
Yeah, look that up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't talk logically to it unless I refresh my mind with it. But yeah, like I don't like to touch the receipts and
That's so
stuff.
funny.
Yeah, because it gets into your
It
bloodstream.
bugs me so bad. And
And I think it's hormone disruptors, especially for younger generation. I believe it's to do with the hormone disruptors.
no kidding. I can believe that on every level.
Yeah.
What we do, like what we allow people to do to us.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we should go do this adventure.
Okay.
And we're just gonna set it up a little bit, not a whole ton, but we are gonna go to the dollar store.
Okay.
And have I known a place that we could do this at locally, I would. It stinks that I have to go do this at a dollar store, but it's part of the program. That's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna go to the dollar store and we're gonna pick up 3 things. You're gonna pick up 3 things for me, I think. We'll look at the things, but you're going to pick out 3 things. I'm going to pick out 3 things. And these things are this. You need to pick out something that you think I secretly need. You're going to pick out something that's so weird, but it emotionally relates to you. And then we're going to pick out something you think the other person should eat or try.
Okay.
So we're just going to go see what happens.
And we're not going to show each other. Like we're going to check out and
We'll
bag
check
it
out,
and
it'll
come
be
here.
secret,
Okay.
bag it, we'll bring it here
Okay.
and explain what the heck we were doing.
Okay. Awesome.
Sounds good?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Here we go. We're on the street.
These
We're going down
44 steps.
44 steps. We got to get down. Oh, shoot. So, have you ever gotten a ticket?
Yeah.
From parking? You have?
Yeah, several.
Did they validate it?
Yeah. Now you have to take it in. Sorry. You have to, now we have to take it in instead of taking it up to the Frenchies.
So,
So we have to fill out the form.
like, you personally have to take it
Yeah.
off? Where do you go, City Hall?
Go
Okay.
to right in the, where you pay your taxes and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Oh, you got to
sit
pay
down.
taxes?
Where do
I haven't
we,
been down there yet. Is
where
that
do
a
we
problem?
live? Paying taxes? Yeah, that's it.
No, they got me. They got me.
Did they get you?
Yeah. They got me. That's fine. I don't know anything about business, so I do it very wrongly all the
I
time.
can't imagine you do it very wrongly as detailed as you are.
I do, though. That's one of the
Lee
things.
keeps you straight, though.
She does. Gosh, thank God for Lee. Gosh, what a job she has.
Text Brittany.
What do you want to say to Brittany?
Yes, you can drop the girls off on Thursday.
It says, yes, you can drop it. Done.
You're lucky I was going to add something to that.
Oh my gosh, go ahead.
What do you want to say to Brittany?
Brittany, I need you to pull the flowers from the truck bed and allow the baskets to breathe as they water down the trampoline.
It says, Brittany, I need you to pull the flowers. Done.
She's probably going to come back with something totally not appropriate for the
Oh,
camera.
that's even better. That's even better.
I know, I typically like to go to Lucy's, but they don't have their dairy-free vanilla. They've been just having 2 flavors of Dole Whip,
Yeah.
and I like the vanilla with the Dole Whip.
So,
Okay, here.
Brittany said, what? Would you like to reply?
What? It probably had a couple of explanations.
It says, what? Send it. Done.
Did you do that to her sometimes?
No, so
No?
she's going to be like,
So confused.
she's going to be asking me if I'm okay. I'm probably gonna worry her. Oh my God, so funny. Call Brittany. She's calling me. Hello.
Hi, Brittany.
Hey.
Oh, that was Ken.
Oh, I was like, I don't know what we're talking about.
Do you think I lost my mind? Something was wrong?
No, I actually didn't.
Oh,
I
okay.
was like, maybe she didn't know she was texting me.
Texting and driving,
Yeah,
right?
no, that was from Ken.
Yeah, I had to, Brittany. I had to
okay,
add something to
I was
that.
like, I'm so confused.
That's great.
Oh, thank you.
Dang, that looks beautiful. You too, thank you. I should probably get a disclaimer for her. I'll just blur her out. Oh my gosh. What does that taste like to me?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Strawberries and cream.
What is that like? Is that, it reminds me of, like, you know, that the yogurt in a tube?
Oh yeah, Gogurt.
Yeah, frozen. Like, I think my kid liked it frozen in the freezer. I used to work at Rent-A-Center.
Did you?
Yeah. It was the one job that brought me out of homelessness.
Really?
Yeah.
How long were you homeless?
I was able to get my first apartment for my boys and my
Aw.
girls, for my kids. I was off and on because of my choices and the path that I did. It was just years here. I mean, not years. It was never long, but I kind of like tumbleweed, just staying at people's homes. I started that at a very young age, probably 15. And but that kind of territory was so normal to me. I had like eras in my life, you know.
So, with your kids, do you have relationships today with all of them?
Unfortunately, no, and I'm in the repair process now with that. It's if you look at the age of my kids, you know, they go from the mid-20s down to my last teenager, and they go in order of their dad's maturity of our closeness. And it's evident. Because I'm not going to lie, I screwed things up badly. I didn't have the tools. You can just imagine.
It's what. Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
right. You only have what you have,
Yes.
but you beat yourself up about it. I've gone through that. I'm going through that. I'm in repair process, and I can't expect it to get repaired, but I'm going to do my damnedest to try to do so. And I see it working. I see just again, like I talked about earlier, when you work on something
I feel that
and it's
parts right here.
specific.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
When you don't remember where I was going with that. But
Relationships, and then each phase in your life, your relationship
yeah, it's
is
just
based with that child.
it's based on my growth, and it's evident. And like I just don't know. I'm gonna do whatever. It's one of my top priorities. It's a big reason why I'm going to advocate for parents learning more tools, and hopefully create a nonprofit that pays people to do so, to go through getting some tools or whatever. But that's another podcast. So I'm working on that. I don't have a relationship with my oldest daughter, Jordan, and I've been on a journey to work on that. I did make some headway, but it went in reverse, and probably because of myself, and I'm not ready. I'm obviously not, because I'm gonna have to learn how to be that dad, be that guy, because I wasn't at all. And but as I went, I got better, and of course, I'm closest to my youngest, and I'm poking at my other ones, probably bugging the crap out of them because they're not. Just because I'm ready doesn't mean they're gonna be ready. I accept that. I accept the challenge. And I'm going to do whatever I can to fix that. Now, are you close with yours? Like, that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
See, I didn't.
But I was a single mom of Brittany. I mean, although I didn't have I always had a motherly instinct, you
Yeah.
know? Like, not everybody does.
Right.
But I had that maternal instinct. My mother did not.
No. So you didn't have very good instructions. Not that there is any, but you kind of model things. Mine was TV dads.
That's what?
I modeled TV dads. That's what I had to.
Oh, that's
learn
right,
from.
because you didn't have those feelings and emotions. You were telling me that.
Yep.
Ah.
So, and I'm very chameleon. Like, I will learn something and act like it. Like, I will be that. So I mimicked some TV dads, which, when you think about it now, there's not any anymore. Where did the TV dads go?
Well,
And
Bill Cosby was a
check this out.
freaking reaper.
No, I know. Some of them ended up being terrible, but like the TV dads today are different. If you notice this, I've noticed, is now they make TV dads out to be dumb, like goofy and wrong and breaking things and stupid, and
Not the leaders.
that's what they portray today. And back in the day, you had some that had morals and values. So I tried to peep out those. It didn't work out very well, but at least I had some sort of a model in that form, which is weird. But that was my model. You almost, after looking back, you don't know you're doing that. But like I had a best friend, I modeled his dad as well. You know, I just took some things from him, and I acted like him for a good period of time, which was just your basic dude stuff, like barbecuing and having a beer in your hand and playing horseshoes. And so I just took on that role. That's who I was going to be for a while. But everything's unchecked. You're left with not knowing how to be a friend, not knowing how to be anybody. Just because I didn't have that support growing up.
Yeah.
Our family was way different. That's a whole nother story. They, they're just, they suffer from mental health in a big way. And they got dealt a very bad hand in growing up. And so they didn't have the tools. So it's like the generational curse, basically.
Yep.
So now I'm trying to break that a little bit. And it's going to happen because my kids are experiencing something completely different than I did. And now they're going to go on and fix the crap that I did.
Yep.
And continually make it better. I hope.
Good.
That's the goal, right?
Yeah, that is.
All right, let's go do this. Okay, so we need
So we need something
something I think you should try to eat.
Something I think you need in your life.
Something you might think I need in my life.
And something that something weird that I attached to.
That represents you. Got it?
Okay.
I'm not going to remember these, but.
I know, I probably won't either. But it'd be interesting to see what we come out with.
I know. Let's go.
Let's do it.
So I got Hasbro berries, Hot Wheels, and Smurf shots. That was my.
Now, where did you and
target.
Lee meet at?
I've known Lee for a little bit. Our kids went to Trinity.
Oh, okay.
So I went on. The first time I really met her was went on a field trip with my son, and she was on it as well. And I had a crush on her from that day on.
Oh.
Like I did, and she had just been, she was going through a divorce or whatever. But I met her then, and then I always try to poke, like flirt or whatever you may say, here and there, but it never went anywhere at all. And I probably sucked at it too. So one day I got my second apartment over there on Fifth Street in Harrison, called it Big Red. My son's favorite place we lived. But so I went to Kroger, and at the time I was drinking a little bit. So I picked up a bag of pizza rolls and a 6-pack, and it must have just turned her on like no other.
Really?
I don't know. No, I'm just saying that.
You are funny.
But I get a text that says, "Hey, I just bought my new first house. You should come check it out." And I shit my pants.
Really?
Because we said hi at the and this and that, and that must have triggered her to text me. Blah blah blah. Because I knew she was out of my league. Like, she is hot. She is like out of my league. So I really honestly didn't think I had a chance. And then when she texted me, that's when I knew I possibly did. I'm like, oh, she texted me. So it was on after that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's so cool. All right, let's go inside and see what we got. Okay, so
So we were picking something that I thought you needed.
you want to start there?
Yeah.
Show me what I need.
And I expect pictures.
Oh my goodness. Now explain to me.
Because they were big enough, I think, for your face, because they are kids. And it had the big squares. But I think they're fun and funny. And it's something that I think you would put on. Oh,
Does it
see?
go with my glasses?
It does.
Now this is I can get behind this.
I know.
It's funny when somebody else knows what you need.
Yeah.
And you
just didn't know.
It's pivotal. It can change
And at least they're not
lives.
upside down.
I had to check. This is great. Honestly, this is crazy. I needed pool glasses. I'm light sensitivity. So, yeah, make
Give
it
those
light.
to you. Yeah.
And I'm gonna make these my pool glasses
Oh my gosh, yes.
because I don't like wearing the other my real ones. But,
Uh-huh.
and I need some. Thank
And
you.
I'm sure Leanne will look at you and just be, oh my God, I
She's
know
gonna
why
fall
I
in
love you.
all over again.
Yes.
And
yes.
I need those things.
Yes. She needs rose-colored glasses, though.
She does.
Just kidding.
That's great. I get it. Yeah. Okay, so this was something you think I need
Yeah.
in your life.
And then what did you connect to? That's weird.
What was my okay? Yeah, so I got something that I want you to try. Something that emotionally I'm attached to, right? And then something I secretly think you need. Okay, so here's
Oh, is there 4 things?
nope.
3. Okay.
Something that secretly
Yeah,
you
yeah,
think
yeah,
I
yeah.
need.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
These
yeah.
were you. Yeah. Okay, so mine for you is a Hot Wheels, and here's why. When this hit me, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's perfect because it was hard looking for one of these. But see, I wasn't showing it. So I always have this thing about I give them as gifts, like in a stocking, of if it's somebody's birthday, they'll get one of these and a card. Like, it's just something I always give to people randomly too. And it's connected to the big box I had when I was a kid. It was like my go-to daily. I had a big box of Hot Wheels. So I always give these away. One time, a little story, my son, he was so mad. He wanted a 3-wheeler for Christmas, for real. And I got him a 3-wheeler. He threw a fit. He was so mad that I wasn't trying to be like, here's your 3-wheeler. I was just like, oh, here, I can afford that, that. But so here's a 3-wheeler. But he took it as offensive, and it was so funny. So, like, ever since then, I kept doing it, and we still talk about that 3-wheeler today. But so I got you this one, and the reason why is, yeah, it's got the high top, it's got the big dome, and it's not because I think he got a big head. It's because
I was like, is that my big forehead? Do I have a
I
big
got
forehead?
it because it stuck out immediately, and it's because of your headspace. And I think that's why we connected. You're open.
Yes.
You're inviting. People can fit in there. They can fit their big heads in there.
Yes.
And so that's what it made me think of.
I love it.
So you secretly need one from me.
I do. And we have a whole collection of Hot Wheels, like from when my husband was little to all my sons to ones that I have.
No
Like we
kidding.
have a whole collection.
That's so cool.
So I absolutely love this. So I forgot to tell you though, I had with the glasses, I'm like, and you were talking about finding it hard to laugh. And I thought of that too when I picked those glasses out. To
These
allow
are so
yourself to just
cool.
have fun and be in that moment and just laugh.
And that will help. I think that's going to be one of the things I learn as I go too, because I'm not trying to perfect how I look. Maybe that could be part of it. I'll figure it out. But I know there's got to be something. I love it. Okay, what was the next thing?
Something that there's only 3 things,
We got
right?
some bumping going again.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's good. That's
I know,
good.
I hear that.
Let's do, okay, this
You want
is,
me to do one now?
yeah,
Okay.
whichever one you
Something
want.
that I was attached to.
Something that emotionally,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
And so I am a fun person. I mean, I really am. I like to have fun. And
see
I'm pretty immature at times, like a 12-year-old boy
You
immature.
betcha.
And I love the beach. I grew up on the ocean, and that's where I feel most at home. But when I saw this toy, I immediately had to have it. It's a
What is it?
shark, and it shoots balls.
Okay, so and that represents emotionally who you are. Just
It-
having,
that I am. Take me to the beach and let me have fun, and life will be good.
I could honestly see you taking that into any water situation and having fun with that for about an hour and a half.
Oh yeah, I would. I would torment my kids if they were younger.
Isn't that funny? That was great. That's awesome.
I did, but I immediately knew that was it. It was so funny.
That is so cool. Okay. So here's mine. Smurf socks.
I love Smurfs.
The Smurfs. And the reason why, as soon as I seen it, I knew I had to because, so back in the day, I'm a nerd, tech nerd, of course. And I remember my mom, when we got our first VCR, I was completely blown away. You could imagine me as a kid, that you could record something and play it back later. That's unbelievable. Because I always did it with cassette tapes. I'd be like, and
Yeah.
I did it at a young age, like that stuff. And I would say my thing was the Michael Jackson thing that he says before Thriller.
Oh,
in darkness like that.
yeah.
What I can't remember. Price is his last
I
name.
don't know.
Anyway, Vincent Price, I think. And so I always recorded that on the cassettes. So when the VCR come along, we got this. The Smart Saturday morning cartoons was the only time you could watch cartoons, or after school for an
Yep.
hour. So Saturday mornings, Smurfs was my favorite at the time, next to Pee Wee's Playhouse. But I would record the Smurfs and I would watch it on Tuesday,
That's
and I
so
was blown
funny.
away that this stands out so strongly to me
That is so
because it was my
interesting.
introduction to tech, partially, and they were just the shit.
That's awesome.
Little blue elves. They were great. So that was mine.
I like it. I love it.
would-
So I have to tell you, I did put my original thing back for you to taste. And but it was really kind of gross. It was chicken Vienna sausages.
Oh my!
And I had them.
I'm so glad you took.
And I'm like, okay, I don't want to do that. I don't think. So I kept them and I went up to check out. And then I saw this in the line.
out.
Dill pickle Slim Jim.
You gotta be kidding me!
And I'm like, I got to get him that. I can't give him the nasty old chicken.
Oh, I
Vienna
would have went
sausage.
for it. I have not tasted this yet.
You haven't for real?
Nope. Somebody posted. It was just one of them things that if I see it, I'll grab it.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't yet. So let's do this real quick. How relatable. Dill pickle seasonings.
Does it taste like a pickle?
Instantly.
Really?
Mm-hmm. try
Ah,
it?
no,
No?
I don't. Thank you, though. I love dill pickle, but I cannot eat a Slim Jim.
I could do that.
I'll have acid
It
reflux.
just has. Oh, really? It
Yes.
just has almost like pickle chips.
I love pickle
That
chips
same, and I
too.
think it's just dill seasoning, but it's good. It's good.
Good. That'll go good with
thank
your
you.
ice cream.
Oh, that's a ill concoction there. So it was hard to do this because I'm like, well, they're like, what if I pick something she loves? You know what I mean? Already. So you may know these. They've been a part of me. Not a part of me, but I ate them when I was younger, and I think I'm a texture thing person, and the texture of these, and I think that's why I like pickles so much. But the texture of these are like so good. Now I don't know if this company does a good job with them, but you'll recognize them because it's a classic candy. But I'm not sure. Not too many people have had these. Every time I have them, which I do, I get the gourmet ones sometimes that are good, made by Jelly Belly.
Okay.
So here it is.
Caribou.
Have you ever
Ooh,
had these?
the berry ones?
Yeah.
Not that brand. But I have had the berries. When we were in Europe, actually, I had some over there.
I
but,
bet you.
But I don't remember what they taste like. Like I don't remember,
Mm-hmm.
but I know that I had them. I'm glad you got, and you know that I love raspberries and blackberries are my favorite fruit.
That's mine. Mine too. Mine as well. I
Uh-huh.
always like raspberry anything,
Me too.
but now,
I'm so glad you
curious
didn't get
to
me
see.
something gross or super sour or hot and spicy.
I was thinking about it.
Me too. Well, that's the
Yeah, the
chicken
Vienna's-
Vienna
oh my
sausage.
gosh.
I know. Okay.
I'm gonna try one too.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I've tried Haribo. I'm not a big fan of these guys gummy bears
me
because
either.
it's too chewy.
Mm.
They're
Okay.
just different in the texture, the candy like on top.
I like them, and they're not overly sweet.
Right. Let's see how they did.
They're good.
They are good. That texture, it just gets me. And they did a good job. They didn't do a really. It's not. The gummy is different than the gummy bears.
No, that's good.
Those are good, aren't they?
Yeah, they are good.
How fun.
I know.
That was super fun.
They're super fun.
I have had a really good day.
Me too.
We did a lot. We talked about a lot. Now I got to somehow figure out how to put all this mess together in one thing. That'll be fun, but so Monroe Yoga's killing it. You have an awesome gift for my next guest. They're going to be a lucky patron. You have a giveaway that people can win. I hope they like our discussions, man. We could have one of the most boring podcasts. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
I think as long as my family watches it and we get like 11 views and maybe, you know, that's successful. I consider that successful, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Who knows? But if they listen, they can win this giveaway, which is a month free of any classes and the sound therapy private session. And that's for one individual.
One.
Gotcha.
Yep.
For one individual.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
All right.
thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ken.
It was
I feel
it was
so privileged.
great.
Yes, it was an amazing day.
My first awesome guest.
Yay!
I love
And I
this.
know you're going to have many more awesome guests. I can't wait
I
to.
hope so.
Oh, yeah,
I
you
hope
will.
so. I want to keep this alive. It's fun. There's a lot involved, but there always is when it's the first time.
I was going to say, once you have it set up,
Yeah.
ready to go, it's not going to be a
You
big
could
deal.
just come in and turn on the lights and go. And I'll get more comfortable. I really didn't know how this was going to go today. Now I can sleep tonight. That it's here and done.
It's done. And now, do you clip it down to like an hour?
I'm not going to clip too much. I'm only going to clip our transitions and maybe our field work there. But I think we had a pretty good run on. You know, we had intermission and stuff, but I'm not going to really clip too much out
Okay.
unless it's dead space or something.
Right, right.
Because I want it to feel, you know, normal and natural. But so here are the rules once again for the giveaway, and we might run this through the week of the airing of this as well, just to give more people a chance. Is you got to like Monroe Yoga on Facebook, like Ken Stumpmeyer, Lens Ninja on Facebook, and then subscribe to this podcast on YouTube, my YouTube channel, and then post it on your Facebook. You do those things and you could win a free month of yoga classes and some sound therapy, which I'm about ready to go do. So it is time for the sound therapy. Delinda has to go
Set up.
get ready, get
Yep.
in her mental space
I
and
do.
be prepared. I'm sure that's a process in itself. And so this is going to be fun. Let's do this. I'm ready.
Me
and I can't wait to
too.
see. And I will be right back
All right.
after this session so that I can talk a little bit about how it went. I am going to record a little bit of it in real time, but I'll come back here and give final thoughts. Maybe I'll have something else. And then we'll close it up and wait for the next episode. Thank you for
Sounds
watching.
good.
Delinda, thank you again.
Thank you.
And go subscribe.
Yes,
This
do
is,
it.
This is the part where you like call to action. It's called. right?
Yes, call to action. Come to Monroe Yoga. Come visit us.
Yes.
Yay.
Run that. All right.
All right.
Awesome.
Bye. All right, cool.
All right. So I'm on my way to this sound bath, some sound therapy for this noggin, for this crazy dome. We're about to see if Delinda can get a whole classroom full of kindergartners to chill out up in here. That's what I got up in here, is a room full of kindergartners without a teacher. So let's see if something like this can calm the down. I'm not expecting a ton. I'm not going to go into it being skeptical. I'm just going to be open-minded. I'm going to try to receive this because I really, really just want to add more tools to my shed to help me with my mind space. And this could literally be one of them. I looked it up a little bit. So it might not happen the first try. It might not, it might take a couple. That's a common thing as well, but we'll see. Lee is meeting me there. I can't wait for you guys to meet Lee. She's going to be on one of the episodes for sure when I introduce my family and stuff. That'll be fun. So Lee's coming with me. You'll probably see her for a second, and we're going to get bathed in some frequencies. I'm actually looking forward to it. Here's my babe, right here. Howdy, howdy.
Take your shoes off here
Awesome.
and hang your bag up if you want. Yeah.
Check out the space.
I'll let you check it out for a minute. Yeah, and there's other meditation pillows. These are eye pillows. They are
All right, this is it, you guys. I'm going to shut down and try to get my mind in a space where this I can receive it. So I'm gonna set this down in the corner somewhere, and we gonna do this, right, babe? All right. Wish me luck. I moved one time, and that was because I got a tickling sensation in my nose. In my nose, and I couldn't, like, the water was flowing with me in my eyes. I had to fight a little bit. I just kept picturing the word after. I was like, you can think about this after. You can think about this after. That was a lot of my beginning. But there was so many, like, just, I need to process it because it unlocks some stuff. I remembered things I've never remembered before, like past memories. It felt like my feet could hear. That was a strange sensation. Felt like my body was absorbing sound through my pores. That's what it felt like. And you could feel it shift on your nervous system. Like I could visualize it happening. There were certain things that would make my nervous system react, like an eye twitch and a toe movement jerk, and it was definitely interacting with my nervous system. So here we are. Time for a little reflection and close this episode up. There's a possibility you might hear some background music coming up soon. It's my neighbors, my awesome neighbors, and we're all trying to work together here, so it's all good. Chalk it up as some background music, right? So I did a little right after reflection, and just in case I'm not able to use that footage, it was a heck of a roller coaster, that's for sure. I felt all kinds of things. I think I'm still processing, but some of the things I described is that it felt like I was absorbing sound through my pores. There was a time it felt like my feet had ears and I could hear. It was, I've never experienced anything like this. It was unbelievably spiritual. I can't explain that yet. And you could feel it working on your nervous system. Like there were certain things going on that would make me twitch my eye or my toe. Like, so you could almost feel it riding on your nerve waves, which is really cool. It was emotional. I was, I don't know if it was, I was like, tears were coming out down my face quite a bit. But like, I remembered things that I haven't remembered before. It felt like there was things like being released. In the beginning, the biggest question, I had to fight hard at trying to not get distracted. I just kept thinking of the word after. It's because I was like, you can think about that after. Like, why am I thinking about my breaks right now? But I fought it pretty much all the way through, but it kept getting less and less and less. And I would have these waves of complete absorption. And that's where I witnessed some of those cool, crazy things. There was aromas, there was, I don't know, I'm still processing, but I do recommend that for everyone to try that. See what happens to them, because every experience is going to be completely different. I'm going to go back because I want to see how it develops and what it turns into. Because like I said, I'm on a journey to fix all this crap. So here it is. And I'm putting it on the table because whatever tool I can put in my shed to help through this stuff, I'm down. Because, after some medication control and stuff like this, I'm experiencing some good times, but of course I get knocked off my rocker with surprises too. Wake up and be completely low, and everything's crappy, and everything like. But we're gonna make them. We're gonna making those more short lived and dissect the why and but yeah, this is all part of the process. Awakening, uh, complete renewal and revival and restoration. Right. So I recommend that to everyone. I just want to remind you guys to stick around um, and subscribe to my channel, my podcast, and help me, subscribe to keep it alive type thing. But even if honestly, if I touch one individual, it sounds so cheesy, cliche, whatever. I think some of the most profound things are cliche and ignored because they just sound like words. Yeah, subscribe to keep it alive because this is going to be fun. So remember the giveaway. The giveaway instructions. The giveaway is 30 days of 1 month of free classes. There's 20 some different classes that you can take in a month from Monroe Yoga and a private sound bath. What I just experienced. So that's this episode's giveaway. I'm going to announce that at the beginning of the third episode live. I'll announce the winner. And all you have to do is go like our Facebooks, Monroe Yoga and mine, and then subscribe to my YouTube channel, my podcast, and then post, if you could, I just post my episode so more people can see it. I hope you like the episode. It's crazy. It was my second one, but first one with a guest, and it was so fun. I had a fun day, regardless of what anybody else thinks. It was just a good day, and I could do this all the time, and I can see that happening. So remember to sign up for the giveaway by doing those instructions. Subscribe to my channel, and what else we got here? Oh, I wanted to remind you of this. I think this will be fun. If you guys are bored, anybody's bored, knows how to do audio, make me a jingle for this podcast. Something I can play at the beginning of every podcast, at the end, or whatever. 10 seconds. It doesn't have to be much. Just a crazy creative jingle for the show that has no name. I don't have a name yet. We'll see, but if you do that, we'll make it part of the show, and we'll have the public vote and have some fun with it. And have you on the show too for doing that, just to talk about it, whatever. Do that. Again, thanks for hanging out and watching a little bit of this. And stay tuned for more information on the next one. Peace. Oh, I also need a sign off. I need a good sign off. What's a good sign off? Let's see. What's a good sign off for my podcast? Let's see if any of these work. Until next time, take care of your mind, and it'll take care of you. I like that. Here's another one. Remember, healing is hard, but you're harder. See you next episode. All right, those are pretty good. But actually, I remember a couple of things that I really stand by. Maybe I'll make it part of my see ya. And that's do hard things. Hard things produce, it's the entry fee. Hard things is the entry fee for results. Do hard things. Anything that's hard will end up being good, mostly. Do hard things is one of them, and get uncomfortable. You wouldn't believe how uncomfortable I had to get to make this happen. So all my uncomfortable, I had to get uncomfortable to be comfortable. So that's it. Do hard things and get uncomfortable so that you can be comfortable. Peace.